Launch ready for WWE Aftershock in 3, 2, 1. World Wrestling Entertainment Discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to WWE Aftershock. Season 3 episode, I don't even know because it's been so long since we've last done Aftershock. Obviously, it's going to be in the title later on. I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with...
Chris.
It's been too long, Chris. You know, like you said, the last time we recorded an episode was June 28th. No, was it 18th or the 28th?
18th.
Yeah, 18th. It's 10 days off. It was like, it can't be the 28th because I was not here the 28th. And yeah, it's been, a while since we last did an Aftershock. You know, our schedules just haven't really meshed up. We both gone on vacations, and we just had some life things that kind of got in the way from doing Aftershock. So we were going to do it Wednesday, but then I overslept, so we're here doing it now. Kind of glad we waited now, because a lot of things have kind of happened since then. But yeah, how do you feel about coming back to do Aftershock? Kind of not the best way to come back, but we're back.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've been looking forward to doing for a while. Kind of way to a good distraction.
Yeah, yeah, I've been looking forward to it. I know we went a couple months, really without doing it type of thing, but it just kind of what happens. I know we haven't really done as like many retros and all the other videos that we've promised. But probably after like August 16th, we'll start to kind of get back on the retros. We are going to do one this week because of what's happened the last week, and we've had this retro planned for a while for John Cena, but now it's not really a John Cena type of retro anymore. It's for Hulk Hogan now, so I guess you have to pick. If we ever do those Cena retros, I think we'll have to pick a new one because that's not really for Cena anymore now. So,
I'll find one.
Yeah. But yeah, let's just kick it off. It's going to be one of those Aftershocks where it's very topical. We're just going to run down the topics. We're going to review some shows that have been in the can for a while. But yeah,
we just haven't been around to do them.
Yeah. But let's just, kind of get started with the sad news, obviously, because it was a very sad week last week with, if you're an 80s kid especially, because three music entertainers that influenced all that stuff in the 80s and obviously beyond, but that's where they got their start for the most part and everything like that, and that's like where they were at the most popular for some of these people. Yeah, they all died in like the same week. It was and it was all very quick because it was like one after the other. We'll do the biggest one first since it's the most tied to wrestling and everything like that. But Hulk Hogan obviously passed away last Thursday, and it came really out of nowhere. Obviously it really took me by surprise. Hulk Hogan obviously it was really surprising. I was coming home from work, and then you texted me that he had passed away, and it really took me by surprise because obviously, he was starting up the American Amateur Wrestling League is doing with Eric Bischoff. Well, I guess was doing with Eric Bischoff and everything like that. And there was like a lot of news stuff coming out about it. He was doing the Real American Beer Tour for a while there. He was just on Netflix earlier this year, the season premiere when Raw went to Netflix. So like, I didn't really know there was anything like wrong with him. At first I thought it was like fake news. I even texted you back like real, because like it just really came out of nowhere. And again, I had just come home from work and like really hadn't been on my phone much or anything like that. And then no, we found out it ended up being pretty real. And it was pretty tragic because back in May, there had been reports and like rumors that he wasn't really doing well health wise. There was reports that he was in like a coma, which his wife it's not Sky Blue, but it's like Sky Blue Hogan or something. Like debunked him pretty quickly. I don't think he was actually in a coma, but like obviously he probably there was some truth to that he wasn't doing well, as we've seen now. And you know at the end of April he was on TMZ. He looked pretty good there. And then it's just it just happened. It was a hectic. If you watch TMZ, it was on TMZ the show, but like they have a YouTube channel where they kind of post the behind the scenes of happenings and everything like that. And obviously they were getting the news in real time, and it was very hectic. It was to the point where like I think all those shows they had planned that day like really didn't happen, and like really it was just really really sad. I was really shocked. It's probably the most shocking death I think that's happened in the wrestling business. I know he wasn't active like with some of the other ones we've seen, like with Luke Harper, Brody Lee, and like Bray Wyatt, but this was still pretty shocking just because of the fact that you just wouldn't have thought it would happen. I know it was probably always going to happen at some point because that's just how life is and everything like that, but not, he was only 71. And again, because he was still really active, not necessarily in the ring, but he was starting up all these projects and everything like that. And then, everything just kind of fell apart and everything like that. Obviously, biggest thing, to remember about him is obviously, how he basically put professional wrestling on the map. In terms of getting it into the sports entertainment industry and getting it national and everything like that. Obviously, he was a big factor of that. He really started the 80s boom period of wrestling. And then obviously, when it came to the 90s with everything with the NWO, he really got it back into a boom period to the point where like WCW knocked WWF like out of the number one position in terms of like they were like the number 2 wrestling promotion because of WCW. Like WCW was the number 1 wrestling promotion, and no matter what everyone says, like no company has done that since, and that's all due to the back of Hulk Hogan and everything like that. And then he's had a few nostalgia matches and everything like that. He nearly, whatever happened with TNA, but like, he made, he got TNA up until probably now, like pretty popular until everything kind of faded away, with his appearances there and everything like that. And then obviously, we won't ignore, I know, a lot of people have been bringing it up, but I'm not going to completely ignore it because obviously, he was a very controversial figure, especially towards the end with some of his political stuff and obviously the sex tape and everything like that. But I think we talked about this at the time anyway, so it's not something we're saying just because he's passed. You could go watch that Aftershock that we did with Steve when we reviewed the Netflix Raw. Like, it was really dumb. The fact that like, he got really booed, and it sucks even more now because that was like his last, at least WWE like appearance and everything like that. But it went the way it did. But I never really was bothered by his, who he supported politically. And the fact that, kind of makes me kind of respect him, knowing that backlash they ended up getting, because he did like an interview where like he talked about he was afraid, but he wasn't going to be afraid anymore, type of thing. And then like, he has his political things. Some of them are really funny, like the "Don't work for me, brother" type of thing. You know, that's obviously funny in hindsight now. But and you know, a big thing is, you know, he would obviously helped his friends out a lot and everything like that. But honestly, I kind of looking at that now and seeing like everyone come out, like Brutus, the Baba Beefcake, Sergeant Slaughter, and like all these people. The fact that, you know, he took care of his friends in the wrestling business. I mean, Brutus Beefcake, like, basically owes him his career, pretty much, because without Hogan, none of that happened. You know, we've heard stories now, like, with Ric Flair and Brutus Beefcake, when they've been in, like, life-altering situations. Hogan was always there for them. Like, Brutus Beefcake talked about, like, how Hulk Hogan left his pregnant wife to go be by his side. You know, with Ric Flair, when he was on his deathbed a few years ago, Hulk Hogan was, like, the first one there. You're hearing, like, how well he was, he treated some of the wrestlers backstage. Like, Maurice went and talked about, like, you know, when she got voted off of, not Total Divas, what was the name of that show? It's not Total Divas, it was, the other reality show.
Diva Search.
Diva Search. Hulk Hogan, like, took care of her and gave her, like, advice. And he always gave time to give people advice, like with Braun Strowman and all these other wrestlers. And he always made time for the fans. Obviously, there's various clips that's come out online, and a lot of people, like, when he done meet and greets, he always gave time to the fans. And, you know, obviously, Hulk Hogan, like I said, I'm not going to ignore the controversy and stuff, but I think, you know, he's human. Everyone has their flaws and everything like that. You know, it does kind of suck, you know, that stuff's happened to him, and especially, too, it was kind of plaguing him, especially towards the end with all the MAGA stuff and everything like that. But I think, you know, I just think it's what it is, you know. I personally, you know, the sex tape stuff, I could kind of understand some people having, you know, trouble coming to terms with that one type of thing. But, like, and, you know, I feel like Hulk Hogan never really truly, I guess, made peace with the fans because of that. But I feel like, you know, it's one of those things that just happened. But, like, I feel like Hulk Hogan definitely had some flaws, but I feel like it's more so later stages of his career and everything like that. But I feel like there's definitely more positives. I just think, even though he has there's not a ton of negative things. I know there's other things, but I think the negatives overweighted just because a lot of some of it's pretty recent, and a lot of it's just, you know, I can understand some of it. I can understand, obviously, people being conflicted just because he was just a conflicted person. I kind of thinking about this, it's kind of like with the Ultimate Warrior. He was very conflicted, but I think because he died, like, when he was starting to make peace with everyone, a lot of people have more, like, positive things to say about him when he passed immediately, just because, you know, he had made peace. But, like, obviously the reverse of that was Chris Benoit. You know, never heard a bad thing about him, but then obviously you find out about the tragedy. Kind of makes it tough to, like, really think about the good things. Hulk Hogan's kind of in a mixture of both of those things. Is like, he did a lot of great things, but also did a lot of bad things, and I just think some of them people are pretty mixed about Hogan, and I can understand that. You know, James, who's done stuff with us before, is feeling this way, and I can completely understand that, just because, you know, Hulk Hogan, you know, I don't think he's like a big Hogan fan, but obviously he's seen the business contributions and just seen, you know, without Hogan, he's probably not a wrestling fan, but obviously it's tough to really ignore the bad stuff, so I can understand being conflicted. I'm complete. I mean, this is just personal things, but I'm completely against, you know, obviously, the, you know, we never liked him type of thing, ignoring his contributions type of thing. If, like, you can't forgive him for the, you know, the sex tape, I can understand like that, but, like, just to, like, completely, like, put him down, especially when he just passed, so it's, like, kind of, like, there's a time and a place for that, but, like, just to completely, like, not even acknowledge anything and not even really acknowledge his death or anything like that is completely thin, you know. But, you know, when it comes to, like, death, you know, it's kind of whatever, but, you know, obviously, it's going to be weird, you know. I think I talked about this. I I watched SmackDown's tribute this morning, but I was watching a ton of videos about like his passing and things like that, and all the people saying things about him, and it really didn't hit me that he's truly gone until the tribute video happened on SmackDown. Just because I was, Hogan was a big worker. You expect he's gonna come out, but that's not the case. But yeah, Hogan's definitely gonna be missed. And yeah, I didn't expect to go nearly 15 minutes, and you didn't really get to say a word. I hope I didn't just take all your shine, but I haven't been able to like really talk about this much yet. I think you have, because you have people around you that are wrestling fans, but this is the first time I've been able to really publicly talk about it, and things like that. But yeah, I probably just took all your shine. But anything else you want to say about the Hogan things and anything like that? I probably just took all your shine. I'm gonna mute my mic so I don't say a word.
You did. No, I'm just kidding. No, you didn't. We talked a lot about it off air, but without Hulk Hogan, wrestling doesn't go mainstream. Without Hulk Hogan, there is no WWE, and they might not be wrestling. His presence was insane. You could put his name down on a card a month in advance, and every single show that he was on in that month time period would sell out. And it's very sad that he is gone, and I'll always be a Hulkamaniac. And he is a part of the fabric of wrestling, whether people like it or not. He's always going to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. How'd you feel about the tribute? We'll talk about the tribute, because we're not going to review SmackDown, but I feel like the tribute we should talk about. I'll let you mainly talk about it, so I'm not taking all the shine. How'd you feel about the tribute they did on SmackDown for him and everything like that?
I thought it was great. I thought it was done expertly. Triple H had a nice sentiment in the beginning. I liked the video packages throughout the show. Everything they did was really, really, really good. And yeah, I mean, he deserves it. Without him, wrestling has changed forever. So I am forever indebted to him, and I will forever be a Hulkamaniac.
Yeah, I hope they do something big for him in the next game, like the next showcase. Maybe it's about him, like his career and everything like that.
I can see that.
Yeah, just the saddest thing, I guess, of all of this, but it seems is that obviously him and his daughter, Brooke Hogan, were in pretty bad terms, I guess. Seemed like they talked a little bit like before his death and everything like that, but it didn't seem like they really patched things up or everything like that. But again, it's like one of those things, how could they have known type of thing. But yeah, it just 71, that's pretty good for a wrestler, especially for him, with all the stuff he was doing, like in terms of the steroids and like the podium and everything like that, and all the fact that like he wrestled for as long as he did, and the many surgeries that he had. So it's gonna be quite interesting. We talked about this off air. It'll be interesting to see what happens with All American like Wrestling League, or the league that Hogan and that other guy started up. They're still doing their first show. I kind of commend them for that. They really don't have to. They could really pull back, but I think they want to. They want to do it in tribute to Hogan. I don't know what's going to happen to the business itself now that they don't have Hogan, because he was obviously the big attraction like for it, and when he was kind of getting all the connections. But I think we'll kind of see what happens with it. I feel like I might watch the first show now too, just in tribute to Hogan and everything like that type of thing. And yeah, fortunately we have to start it off because even though this person isn't really like a wrestler or anything like that, we obviously had another person that was very indebted to the WWE like family and everything like that, and that was Ozzy Osbourne. Kind of similar, you know. He had just done his last concert like a few weeks before this. Kind of not as shocking as Hogan, because obviously it had some health issues and everything like that, you know, for years, and it just finally caught up to him. But yeah, kind of more indebted to the WWE family than you would think. You know, he's been a part of a lot of the early WrestleManias. He did a lot of the theme songs. I remember one of the first SmackDowns I watched, he did like a live concert on SmackDown in 2007. I knew he wasn't a wrestler, but it was pretty cool. And the fact that he did it on SmackDown, because, you know, he had done the theme song for like Judgment Day that year and everything like that. He guest hosted Raw at one point. He was pretty indebted to the WWE family. I think he went into the Celebrity Hall of Fame, or am I wrong on that? Because I think they said that he did, but I don't remember ever seeing like a speech of his or anything like that. If he's not, he should go in next year. But you know, that's obviously pretty sad. Unfortunately, in terms of the wrestling bubble, it's getting kind of overlooked now because Hogan just passed. But still pretty sad death. He had done a lot, and you know, what do you think about Ozzy's passing? And I know it's kind of a non-wrestling thing, but you know, he was pretty indebted to the family and everything like that.
Pretty sad. Absolute legend. He's really well connected within the wrestling industry. He's also well connected, obviously, without around the entire world. It's a really sad passing. Just a couple of weeks ago, he had just done his last show. Yeah, he had so many health issues related to drugs and alcohol, and that man was insane.
He was.
His stories are legendary. He did so many appearances, and the New England Patriots have a when they come out for their team introduction, it's Crazy Train by cool. Ozzy Osbourne. In the Super Bowl, when the Patriots played, it was the Eagles. The Patriots played the Eagles. The Patriots ran out from their team helmet, and Ozzy Osbourne was playing there live. And it was none of the players in the Patriots knew he was going to be there, and they all looked up and they were like, "Holy crap, that's Ozzy Osbourne!" So he's well connected within the wrestling industry, the football industry, like everywhere. He is connected everywhere. This loss hit everyone, you know, very, very hard. Everyone knew who Ozzy Osbourne was. An absolute legend of the business. People know him from his fucking reality show, where he was an absolute fucking character on there. He was hilarious. But yeah, it's his loss is it's sad, but it's kind of crazy too, also.
But yeah, let's talk about some actual things now. Even though we're not supposed to talk about this later, but they kind of turn things around. It's still kind of sad for me, but unfortunately now I have to come to terms with it. I guess Chad Gable was un grande Americano. He outed himself.
Look who was right!
He outed himself doing an interview with Fightful, where he kind of accidentally mentioned that he had a singles match at WrestleMania. To be fair, he didn't mention what the singles match was, but unfortunately, I guess you have to kind of put two and two together. And
yeah, you do. I wonder who was right about that the whole time.
But yeah, I feel kind of you know, I owe kind of an apology, because I should have just listened to you, but it was one of those things where like there was just too much evidence against it and everything like that. I don't know who this other guy is now that's playing him. You know, that's still to be determined. We haven't really found out who he is. We'll find out, you know, together. You know, I'm thinking that it's Ludwig Kaiser, just because he'd been kind of showing up a lot, like when what's the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile, American Alpha have been like a no, not American Alpha. What's the American? No, not American Males. What's the name of that? What's the name of that faction that Chad Gable has?
American made American males.
I was closer with American Males than, I'm thinking that it's him. You know, he's got the same build as Ludwig, but again, it's really unknown yet. You know, we heard him talk like one time. It didn't sound like Ludwig, and you know, this new guy that kind of started showing up, you know, does a lot of luchador type stuff, and that's normally like Ludwig's style. So that kind of makes me think that it's not him, but I'm kind of thinking, leading more so that it is him. But we'll just have to let the storyline play out and everything like that. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Chad Gable made up El Grande Americano. He could have just taken over like a gimmick or something, and El Grande Americano was like around before. You know, we don't know that necessarily, but yeah, this is it's kind of you know, Chad Gable kind of messed up. He kind of messed up the whole thing. I was all ready to come on here and laugh at you, and then like yesterday, he messed the whole thing up for me. But you know, I'm interested to see who took over the gimmick. I'm thinking that it's Ludwig, but we'll have to just wait and see. How do you feel about the fact that you ended up being right in this case, and about the new El Grande?
It feels good to be right.
What about the new guy
What
about the new guy that took over though?
It's Ludwig Kaiser.
You sure? Because I think
where's he been?
I don't know where he's been. You know, I think you're right, but again, we have to let the story.
The thing is, though, Chad Gable and El Grande Americano were appearing on the same show together, so there might have been a thing where he might not have been El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
With Ludwig Kaiser is nowhere to be found.
Well, to be fair, I think he went to SmackDown, and they haven't had enough space for him on SmackDown. Because remember, he said he was leaving for SmackDown like a while ago. So maybe that's maybe he's been wrestling dog matches or something.
Or he put a mask on and called himself El Grande Americano.
Very well could be. You know, I just don't want to. You know, I don't.
By the way, that gimmick is massively over in AAA. By the way.
Yeah, I love it.
I did not think it was going to get over, but it is.
Do you ever think El Grande Americano was a guy originally? Because we don't know that. That hasn't been proven. There could have been someone named El Grande Americano like before, and Chad Gable just took over like because that happens a lot in wrestling. Like with Rey Mysterio, he took over like the Rey Mysterio gimmick.
But that's different though, because that was his uncle.
Yeah, but what about is it Tiger One? Is it Tiger Mask? There's been like 4 Tiger Masks, so there could have been El Grande Americano out there somewhere.
It could have been somewhere in the annals of wrestling history,
yeah,
but
it could have been.
Again, I think, but now we know that it was Chad Gable.
But I think this guy is Ludwig, but again, it's not 100% confirmed yet. But I think I do think you're right. You could be right this time around. There's you're not completely nuts this time around. I wonder how Pat McAfee feels. He's the one that's been trying to like get this like going, and now he's been duped. So
I don't think he cares anymore.
Probably not. But yeah, now that like we got that out of the way, I know we want to talk about that later, but I figured that would get us in a better mood. And this gave you time to get the Night of Champions notes going that you probably didn't do. So why don't you talk about because we're going to talk about all the shows that's happened.
I'm just gonna do the Wikipedia notes and not go through Wrestle Votes or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
just do like the highlights.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about. Because Night of Champions happened fucking June 28th, so it's been a month and we still haven't reviewed it yet.
Yeah, we're just gonna do like the cliff notes.
So, they taglined it. The last time is now, because it was going to be the last time that John Cena faced CM Punk, which is probably the truth, if I would have to say.
Yeah.
So in the King of the Ring tournament final, Cody Rhodes defeated Randy Orton, and he became King Cody Rhodes, which he has not fucking even remotely even acknowledged since becoming King of the Ring. It was completely fucking useless to make him King of the Ring because it has not been acknowledged even remotely.
Not really, yeah.
And then Rhea Ripley beat Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight after Rhea Ripley hit her with the Riptide off the top of a table, which was balanced on top of the turnbuckle. It was a really, really nice finish there. Sammy beat Karrion Kross to basically kickstart their feud. Looks like they're going to have another match at SummerSlam, which potentially, if all goes not according to plan, but like according to contract, might be one of Cross's last match.
Okay.
Last matches, because his contract's due up in August. So we'll see if him and Scarlett do anything, but it looks like no contract at this point, and he really hasn't been approached, and we're approaching August. So August 1st is Friday. I would say it's middle to the end of August that his contract is up. I would say his best bet is to stay, because I just don't know what other company, because I don't think AEW really have any interest in him. Maybe he goes and does a thing with MLW or TNA, but or GCW, but I just don't. There's not going to be much interest in him. And Solo Sikoa beat Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship when Tala Tonga, the former Hikuleo, family member, younger brother of Tongaloa and Tama Tonga, just a fucking behemoth of a man, finally made his WWE debut after being signed for well over a year now. He looks like he's the heavy for Solo, which makes a lot of sense because he's fucking gigantic. In the Queen of the Ring final, Jade Cargill defeated Asuka to become Queen of the Ring, and she's kind of been acknowledged here and there as Queen of the Ring. And by pinning Asuka, she and I think the same thing went for Cody. Yep, Cody got his rematch technically against John Cena at SummerSlam, and he it's a street fight, that one. And at SummerSlam also too, Jade won herself a match for the women's championship at SummerSlam.
Yep.
So they kind of had the stakes a little bit higher in these matches, as opposed to winning a ring or a crown or whatever. It was actually, you get a championship match, which it should have been. Make the matches mean something instead of just a crown that they're not going to fucking acknowledge.
Right.
It just, for me, that was like them having a championship match be the reason to want to try and want to win is way better than here's a crown that no one's going to care about 2 weeks afterwards.
Yeah, I like that, and then I'll let you, because I think there's one more match, and then I'll kind of give my thoughts on Night Champions.
It's John Cena in the main event beat CM Punk. There was about 1 million different people who interfered in the match. I forget who at this point in time because it's been quite a while. I think it was Solo's group, wasn't it?
No, Seth's group.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's what it was. It was one of those groups, but it was Seth's group that interfered. That Seth was trying to help John win. John kind of looked like he was going to be the babyface about it for a little bit, but then wasn't, and he ended up winning. Match was fine. All these matches on this card were were fine. None of them were great. The Rhea Ripley and Raquel match was really good. Jade versus Asuka was solid. Solo and Jacob was good. Cena and Punk was the best you can do with two 40-plus-year-olds at this point. One's at the end of his career, and one could be nearing the end of his career very soon. In the Cody Randy match was very good. Cody showed a more heelish side to himself, which was weird because everyone thought it would be Randy who would be going a little bit more heelish, but it was Cody really going after the surgically repaired back, just working on it, like really hitting all the heel points, but didn't go heel. But yeah, I thought overall, like, this show was good. It served its point. Getting Jade a title shot at SummerSlam was kind of imperative at this point because she's really kind of been stuck in the middle for a while, in the middle ground, and she needs to be kind of elevated towards main event now. I'm pretty sure that this. I'm pretty sure she's done with Naomi at this point.
We'll get to
although
that.
They had a little Twitter exchange today.
Yeah, I like Night of Champions. I watched it from the car, so obviously, I wasn't like really watching on the critique aspect, but I still liked it. I liked Cody Randy. Obviously, I like that they went the other way, where it looks like Cody's the one that's going to show heel tendencies when you thought it was going to be Randy. Obviously, I feel like they're having more matches at some point this year, because obviously they also tease Randy going heel also at the end there. Because I feel like there's so much more of that match they could have done, but it feels like they hold back a little bit because obviously they're both in kind of a face role. So I feel like if one turns, they'll amp it up a little bit more. The street fight was very good. I like that. Rhea needed that win too because she hasn't necessarily been losing, but she hadn't really had an important win in a while, and then it worked out very nicely for her. And then Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross, I enjoyed. I hope we see Karrion Kross resign since I'm really into his push right now. I like that because that storyline's been going on for a while with Sami and Karrion Kross, where Karrion Kross would just like stalk him backstage, and I thought that was going to be like it, but I'm glad they've continued it. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I'm worried about Sami though, because anyone who feuds with Kross ends up going heel, and I'm almost like Karrion Kross, like, leave him alone. I want him to stay face, but Karrion Kross might bring out that darkness in him.
Yeah, he might at this point.
But
he's been beating the shit out of him for a bit.
Yeah, so I'm kind of nervous. I hope Karrion Kross stays though, because I think he's really good, and I really want him to get pushed. There probably would be interest from him because of that podcast he did after WrestleMania, where he saw he could use his promo skills. It's not AEW. I don't want anyone going to that shitty company. And I know I sound like an anti-AEW show, but after what they've been pulling this week, I don't care if I am. So, but
the same way.
So, yeah, let's see what else. And then Asuka, Jade Cargill. I thought that match would be a little bit better since Asuka, like, it's kind of that red veteran. Usually you get like a good Asuka match. It was still good, but I thought it'd be that match didn't live up to the expectations I thought it would have had. Could be too because Asuka, she had just come back like pretty recently before that, so like I think she was still trying to get her foot in the ring, and she couldn't really do a lot of her offense to like Jade because she's taller and everything like that. So, and then let's see, the solo Jacob match I liked. Got a lot of that old bloodline story to it and everything like that. Kind of disappointed. I remember I was a big advocate for Jacob Fat to hold this belt for a while. It kind of sucks they cut the reign short, but it makes sense because obviously they wanted to continue this feud, and the only way for that to happen was for Solo to win. And then obviously there was a really cool way to bring in Tala Tonga. And I think I talked to you about this on text message afterwards. It's really interesting how they, at Backlash, we would kind of talk, like you even mentioned in the predictions, that it seems like the Bloodline, like 2.0, really faded away because obviously there was a lot of injuries and everything like that. And I feel like ever since Backlash, I mean, they ditched the name Bloodline. Now it's like the MFTOs now and everything like that. But it seems like that group has really been elevated with the arrivals of JC Mateo and Tala Tonga, and now the like return of not Tama Tonga. What's the other one's name?
Tonga Loa.
Tonga Loa. He's back now. So
it's so weird. Like, Tama Tonga went down with an injury that's going to take him out a long time, just as his brother was coming back.
Right.
From injury.
But, I feel like that group now is, kind of back to prominence. Now I think they've been, used pretty well. Like, the thing that kind of sucks about Tala Tonga coming in, it's obvious. I feel like it's kind of diminished JC Mateo a little bit because it seemed like he was going to be like the heavy, but now it's not only that. Now he kind of seems like a fall guy now and everything like that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I feel like that was the whole point of putting him in. But I'm enjoying that group now. I feel like that group got a lot of life to it because and everything like that now. It'll be interesting to see what happens with it once this Jacob Fatu feud ends, but we'll get to that later. Then the Cena Punk match I thought was good. I like. I didn't expect it was going to be like one of the best matches we've seen because obviously we've seen all of the highlights and everything like that. But it was very solid. The overbookingness really didn't bug me too much. It made sense because obviously Seth Scrooge's been feuded with Punk, so it made sense that with Seth's hatred of Punk would cause him to cost on the match and everything. Cool that Penta got involved in that because obviously this was kind of the start of him really starting to sniff the main event scene, at least for a little bit. And then obviously I like the teaser of John Cena going back to being a face because they've been teasing that now even more so lately, which is kind of funny because it was like right when his heel work was like really starting to work. Now they're going to turn him back into a face. It's like I don't know about that, but I don't know. I feel like that like stretch of time where Cena and Punk feuded was like the best this year would have been because he did that pipe bomb promo like the SmackDown before, and then we had the rap Punk promo and everything like that. So it seemed like Cena's heel work was starting to work, but we'll see what happens type of thing. If he goes back face, he's definitely retiring this year. Then I would say because I wasn't really sure, but if he turns back into a face, he definitely is gonna retire. If I had to give it any champions like a grade, I'll probably give it like a solid B. I can't really go B+. I feel like, definitely one of the weaker WWE pay-per-views we've had this year, which sounds like a negative, but it really isn't because obviously, don't forget, on like a consistent basis when Vince was running things, some of the weaker shows would be like freaking D's and all that stuff. We're out of that era, so
yeah.
This is still solid, it felt like definitely solid show here. What would you give? I know it's been a long time ago, but what would you give Night of Champions as a nice little grade?
I give it a B.
So, going through Great American Bash real quick. This was kind of the start of the WWE takeover in Atlanta. They took over Atlanta a couple weeks ago now at this point, where they did the Great American Bash, then Saturday night's main event, and then Evolution 2. The Great American Bash aired at 3:00 that day, I thought it was solid. We had some nice stuff happen on this show. Very promo heavy show, I will say. Like I think from like because they had the show broken down. I'm pretty sure for a good like half hour of the show was all promos, and I'm like, okay, it's a pay-per-view here, not an episode of NXT, so it kind of made it feel like just like a regular episode of NXT, just longer. But the opener of the show was Javon Evans versus Jasper Troy. They had a solid match, Javon Evans, I feel like was helping Jasper Troy look like a really good heavyweight, because obviously Jasper Troy can do a lot of his high-risk offense to him. Jasper Troy still needs a lot of work. I don't know why he won LFG Season 1. It feels like the only reason he won is they wanted Shiloh to stay, because Shiloh really should have been the one to win Season 1, because I've seen Shiloh wrestle a little bit more, and he's way more of a talent than Jasper Troy. But I feel like the only reason they did that, it was so predictable that Charlotte was going to win, that they threw it to Jasper, and I feel like that's been a massive mistake. The last couple of matches he's had haven't made him look the best. He didn't really look very good in the NXT match with Oba, and then here he looked fine, but you know he's supposed to be like an opposing figure. You don't really get that vibe with the way he wrestles and everything like that. I don't really think he's learned like how to really wrestle like a big man or anything like that. And that's on Booker T, I guess, because I guess technically he was his coach. So, you know,
I really don't like Jasper Troy.
Yeah. So,
I don't think he should have won LFG Season 1, but like in the beginning, I was like, oh, this guy definitely has a chance to win. Like, he's got the look and everything. He's just not. He's just very bad.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know how he made it as far as he did in LFGs. To go all the way to the last like episode of the season. I don't know what happened. Again, I feel like I don't know what happened, but I think like because they had LFG continue, they wanted to like bring back some of the vets, and they wanted Shiloh to come back, and they wanted Anthony Luke to come back. So like Shiloh had to win type of. I don't think he won because of his talent. I think he won because of the way the show was formatted and everything.
Yes,
like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they wanted more people back from Season 1 that people kind of knew about, so it's not like a whole new group coming in.
Right. And then I'm glad Javon won though, because if he that was a great decision. So, and then Sol Wilka versus Izzy Dane was actually a better match. I thought that was really good actually. I didn't really think this match was gonna be very good because I'm not really a big Izzy Dane person. I figured Sol Wilka would carry it, but they ended up going out there and having like a really good match. Considering the fact too, this was like Sol Wilka's like second match of the weekend out of like 3, so this was still some really good stuff. I'm glad that Sol Wilka won. Her title win's been very disappointing. I thought when she won the belt, she would have more of a better title reign, but it hasn't been the case. Feels like she's just kind of in feuds that I don't care about. I think they're just waiting to turn Zarya, and I don't think really her title reign is going to have anything of note to it until that happens. And then Ricky Saints faced Ethan Page in the Falls Count Anywhere match. This should have main evented. I don't know why it didn't. It was kind of dumb it didn't, because this was like the best feud of the whole company. Not the whole company, but the whole like promotion. Building up to it and everything like that. But this match was very good. I really enjoyed this match a lot. I could have done without the Jasper Troy interference, especially because the match didn't like end immediately. It just kind of happened, and then the match like continued. But Ethan Page winning makes I think a whole lot of sense. I'm enjoying his title reign and everything like that. I don't really mind Ricky Saints losing. I thought Ricky Saints looked very good in this match, and they got a really good spot out of it. I thought that was a very good Falls Count Anywhere match. And then we had the contract signing with for Slammiversary with Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, and Trick Williams. That ended pretty well. TNA got to get one over on WWE until Dark State showed up and kind of messed that up. So thanks a lot. But overall, I liked that. It was pretty cool. The fact that like the past few weeks, a lot of NXT television was used to hype up Slammiversary. Which I think is exactly how you do a partnership. I remember this is something we complained about in AEW and Impact's partnership when they partnered with them. They never advertised their shows or anything like that. So I'm glad that WWE is doing that. So this is good stuff. And then we had Yoshiki Iemura versus Obafemi. This was really good. Very good back and forth match. I could have done without Josh Briggs interference. I kind of just wish they would have just gone out there and just torn the house down. But Josh Briggs didn't really want that to happen, it seemed like. And Obafemi retained. I think that, even though that was pretty predictable, I was okay with it, obviously, just because he's just a really good champion and everything like that. And Yoshiki Iemura got like a nice hold spot in there, so that was good. And then we had the tag match. It was Fallon Henley and JC Jane versus Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe. It's a good tag match. It didn't really need to happen. I don't really understand why it did. It just did. And then Master Slamovich showed up kind of randomly and messed everything up for everybody, and it led to Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe winning, with Blake Monroe pinning JC Jane, which we thought was going to set up a title match, but it doesn't seem to be the case now, which we'll get into when I cover Evolution 2. Overall, I liked NXT, The Great American Bash. I'll probably give that like a B-. I didn't mention them, but there was like so many promo segments that like didn't even need to happen, and it just kind of felt like a regular episode of NXT. Too many. This kind of felt like a regular episode of NXT, just on a PLE. But it had some good stuff on it. I felt this show we could have done without this show probably.
Yeah, I agree. This really could have done without it. It just felt like a regular episode of NXT with just too many advertisements and everything like that. Like, I like TNA's involvement on the show. Like you said, we thought it was gonna the Blake Monroe thing was gonna lead to her getting a title match. No,
probably not. Yeah,
probably not. Now, but overall, I thought the show was fine. It did it. It was going up against AEW, which not kind of programming, but you can latch onto that word all you want. You don't own the day. But Tony doesn't have any balls to do it, so. But I thought it was a solid enough show.
Yeah.
Not the better of the two.
Oh, what, of All In or of Saturday night's main event?
That's of the two WWE shows that went that day. I thought Saturday night's main event was significantly better.
Which is kind of because a lot of people online are saying it's like they thought this show was. A lot of people really weren't that high on Saturday night's main event, which is pretty interesting. So,
I love Saturday night's main event. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people just were just better.
Yeah,
just better,
That's what it is.
But yeah, did you have time to get Saturday night's main event going?
Let's do this. First, so Saturday night's main event happened, and it went on, like AEW was still going on at the same time.
I saw that online. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure. Like I think I texted you this because we made a joke of this. Like NXT started, it ended, and AEW was still going on, and then like when Saturday night's main event going on, and AEW was like still going. Like how the hell long was that show? Like how long?
Like 8 hours.
Oh my god! I thought this was like supposed to be like the whole like beauty about like AEW, was it? Because remember, this is like a lot of things that people hated about like WWE. That like shows went long for like hours, and now it seems to be the opposite now. Like I get it, it's like the WrestleMania and all that type of stuff, I guess, but it's like all the pay-per-views go this long though. Like
every single one.
It's a bunch of matches that mean nothing that you can just watch on TV.
Exactly.
I don't get this company.
Exactly. Just like next week, I think it is, or this week, they're just redoing the match they did at All In.
Yeah. And don't forget too, this is coming on the backs of like some out. I don't think it was like right afterwards, but like it was pretty soon before this, where we had like 2 episodes of like AEW in a row. I think they were like 4 hours. I'm pretty sure. It's like you basically just got a pay-per-view like on TV. What is this company doing?
Nothing.
Not acknowledging Hogan's death. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're too good for that.
Too good. Well, apparently not, because they can't sell out their venues and stuff.
40,000 seat stadium.
Yeah.
20,000 seats were sold. The rest was tarped. Not something to brag about.
I would make the argument
40,000 in a 40,000 seat stadium, something to brag about.
Yeah.
20,000 in a 40,000 seat stadium, not something to brag about.
I want to point this out too. A lot of people are thinking that AEW like won the weekend because like WWE tried to cut the program and apparently it didn't work. I make the argument that WWE won because I think I talked about this. Not a word. Because it's one thing to win the weekend in terms of show's perspective and all that, but no one talked about AEW All In, like, at all, like, after the weekend. Like, I didn't...
Nope.
I think I told you that I didn't even know Cope came back until, like, Tuesday. I didn't even know he came back.
Well into Monday was in 3 spots on trending. All In was in 0.
Yeah, so it's like... If that's a victory, then, like, that's a pretty crappy victory.
They also tried to brag about how they went on to TKO and WWE's Twitter pages and flooded with watch all in, watch all in, watch all in, watch all in, watch all in. That just shows you one thing. Rent fucking free.
Mm-hmm.
WWE lives rent fucking free in their tiny little heads. Their little pea brains.
Yeah.
So we kicked off Saturday night's main event with Randy Orton and with Jelly Roll in his corner against Drew McIntyre with Logan Paul in his corner. And I thought this was a very good match. Randy and Drew always put together really good matches together. And Randy ended up winning. And after the fact, Jelly Roll got a little involved and Logan got a little bit of payback on him by punching him right in the face.
Mm-hmm.
That basically set up a tag team match for SummerSlam, which is now confirmed. Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. But we'll see if this match actually happens the way it's constituted, because Drew had a little bit of a boo-boo this weekend. He is stuck in the UK because he went to the UK for a wedding and didn't take his US passport with him. He only took his the UK passport with him because he lives in Florida. So he took the UK passport with him, not his US passport, and he was detained and not allowed back into the United States. And as of currently, he is still not back stateside yet.
Yeah, hopefully.
So we'll see. We'll see if this match even happens.
Yeah, it could, because there's still enough time for him to come back and everything like that. And then, like, if they absolutely...
This is all real, by the way.
Yeah.
This is not storyline. People have to classify. No, this actually really happened. This actually happened. Drew McIntyre is literally stranded in the UK right now.
Yeah.
So WWE is working on it with him. I expect it to be resolved in the next couple of days, but I would expect him to be on SmackDown on Friday. If he's not, then what the hell are they going to do?
Yeah, because there's really no one. I guess the Miz could take the spot since he just came back this week. That would work.
They could do Miz, or I don't know who the fuck they can do, but they have to start drafting up They should draft up a replacement for him really soon, because if they can't figure this shit out by Friday, this match is not happening.
Right.
So that's a real problem that they're having.
Yep.
So, the next match was Solo Sikoa with his My Family Tree members at ringside, the MFTs.
Oh, that's what that stands for.
Yeah, it's My Family Tree. It's technically, because if you go onto Wikipedia, it has it as the Bloodline. If you search the Bloodline, it's technically Solo's crew, and it's MFT now. So,
even though Jason Mateo isn't, Jason Mateo is not a family member, I don't think.
He's not. He's just, a lot of them aren't. Like the Tongaloa Tamatonga and Talatonga are not family members. They just, I think they were trained. I think Haku was trained with Afa and Sika, I'm pretty sure. Or it was something like that, or just he was associated in some way with the Wild Samoans, and they would just hit, and Haku was just kind of like absorbed into the family, and then eventually teamed up with Rikishi in 2001. So that's their connection with Jimmy Uso, and Solo. So they basically got absorbed into the family like Jimmy Snuka was absorbed into the family.
Yeah, that's
And
insane.
technically The Rock too, because The Rock isn't blood related to them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The Rock is only related to them through Peter Maivia, and it was Afonseca's father became blood brothers. So they're not really related. It's through a blood brother bond.
That's just bloodline stuff is just really hard to like make out.
It's tough to really make it out, but they're all in it. Tamatonga, Tongaloa, Talatonga, they're all not really a part of the family, but they're technically a part of the family.
Yeah.
Just like Sami Zayn's now a part of the family.
Yes,
he's been absorbed into it too, even though he's not in any way, shape, or form related to any of them. He's just a friend of the family, but he got absorbed into it too. But it's Solo Sikoa with his MFT faction versus Jimmy Uso for the United States Championship. I want to say this is Jimmy's first singles championship match.
Yeah, they were saying that. Yeah,
it definitely felt like that was his first, because I don't think he's ever had one before.
Yeah, I can't think of one he would have had.
Because it's always been tag, so it's like a lot of this time period now. It's a lot of firsts for the Usos.
Yes, it is.
Because they were tag team for like fucking almost 20 years. So Solo ended up winning. Jacob came out at the end afterwards, after Jimmy had lost, to make the save, which is they spent so long beating the shit out of each other. Now I kind of like that they're in a little bit of a group now.
Me too.
I like that, because obviously the rocket ship has been strapped to Jacob now, and he's clear cut seen as a top babyface in the company, which is awesome. And I love it. But now we get to something that's a little bit more somber. No one died. It was LA Knight versus Seth Rollins, with the Oracle Paul Heyman at Seth Rollins' side. The match was 11 minutes and 38 seconds long. It was supposed to go a lot longer than that, but Seth was doing his typical springboard maneuvers, and on the second springboard, he went to go do a moonsault and land on his feet, but his knee gave out. Legitimately gave out. He got hurt, which sucks. The match was stopped, or not stopped, but kind of rushed to a finish. LA Knight hit the BFT to beat Seth Rollins. Originally, LA Knight was supposed to lose, and he was supposed to get his big win off of Seth at SummerSlam. Just sucks. Another knee injury for Seth. Very legitimate. Don't listen to whatever fucking Brian Alvarez or Dave Meltzer or any of those idiots have to say. This is a legitimately real injury that happened. Yeah, he's got that big long ass brace on his knee and leg. It's they wouldn't go that far if it was a work. But it looks like Seth is going to be out a while. I mean, he's still got the Money in the Bank briefcase. He doesn't have to cash in anytime soon. I just hope it's nothing serious with him. It looks very real, and I don't know how many fucking times this has happened to him, where he does these springboard moonsault type combos, like it's a combo with a different springboard, and always on the second half of it always winds up with him hurting his knee.
Yeah.
I just feel like that happens almost too often with him. It happened with Jinder, it happened with LA Knight. It just happens way too often where he's almost 40 years old now. He's 39 years old. Like, and he's got a lot of mileage on those knees. He's been wrestling since he was a fucking teenager. So there's a lot of mileage on those legs. Yeah, I think it needs to come to a point where he does, some of the springboard stuff, but like lays off it a little bit, because he seems to be hurting himself a little bit more now that he's getting a bit older.
Yeah. I guess your thoughts on this. This sucks. I don't think I definitely think that it's not a work. Because one, the match really ended abruptly, type of thing. And again, I just don't see WWE booking an angle like this, because then it's like one of those things where, like, I don't see a wrestling company booking like an injury by accident. The reason I guess it would benefit Seth, because obviously now, like, people are gonna forget about him. He could come and cash in now, type of thing. But it's like, I also just don't see WWE like purposely putting himself in the position to write out one of the main stars for, like, SummerSlam, especially if it's like one of the biggest SummerSlams. It was like right when Roman Reigns was gonna come back. I feel like if they had known Seth wasn't gonna be there, they wouldn't have still brought him back and everything like that. Because now it's kind of weird that Roman came back and Seth isn't there. If it is a work, like, then screw the Dave Meltzers and everything like that. Like, what a way to ruin a work, by the way. The fact that, like, WWE is going to try to tell this masterful storyline and, like, really swerve everyone when Seth comes back, and then, like, Dave and Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, like, completely, like, ruined it and everything. Which is, like, a typical thing that happens with, like, the wrestling, like, Observer and everything like that. WWE will try to tell these masterful storylines and, like, really swerve everyone, and they like, ruin it, type of thing. It's like, no wonder why, like, Triple H just banned Brian Alvarez from the media, like, press conferences and everything like that. It's like, I'd be banning him too.
I would too, yeah.
Because every storyline they try to do, they like, ruin, type of thing. I don't think it's a work. The only reason I could see that it being that is because Triple H has done these outlandish storylines before, like with the Kevin Owens heel turn. He didn't turn heel, like, in a traditional way, so there's enough to it, I guess. But it's like, I don't know, it's just the way the match ended, and then, like, everything that's going to happen afterwards, I definitely think that it's not a work. The only other reason they're saying that, too, is because WWE really didn't give a lot of information about, like, and, like, when Triple H went on his media conference at Evolution 2, he, like, immediately brought it up, type of thing, but it's like, and gave, like, a very vague answer, but it's like, I think that's just Dave Meltzer, like, he's getting upset that, like, WWE won't feed him news anymore, so he's just piling bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I think so too. And now,
and like you said, now it probably is a work. No, it probably isn't a work, because it's the Wrestling Observer that's posting about it too.
Of course, they immediately went, "It's a work, it's a work, it's a work," because they're idiots. So now we get to this part just pisses me off. So Gunther put his World Heavyweight Championship on the line against Bill Goldberg and Bill Goldberg's last ever professional wrestling match. And Gunther submitted him. He put him over. USA, NBC fucking cut Goldberg's speech short, which is insane. It felt like that didn't feel like a Triple H thing. That felt like an NBC thing.
Yeah.
And he went out on, I think it was Ariel Helwani's podcast, I think.
Yeah, you're correct.
And just looked like a fucking child. Just like a fucking baby. Just complaining about everything. And I'm like, man, this is the shit that you do for a company that let you have a fucking retirement match and then built their biggest fucking star with you, put you in a position in a fucking main event in your adopted hometown.
That's the whole reason the show
and you're
happened.
complaining that it wasn't on a bigger show? The fuck is wrong with you? The fuck? Like, what, like, you wanted to happen at a WrestleMania? That wasn't in Atlanta. This was. So get the fuck over it. It's just fucking, it's infuriating.
Yeah.
I think, did he say more? I don't know.
Saturday night's main event, I like that. That was really, I thought that was pretty solid. I liked Randy Drew. I liked how that set up the SummerSlam match. I liked Solo and Jimmy. And then, Jacob coming back, because that was the first time he had been, like, back since, like, the Bloodline. No, sorry, not the MFTers beat him down and everything like that. Obviously, the Seth and LA Knight thing is what it is. It was looking good until the injury happened, so I can't really critique that one too much. I feel like, it just sucks. And then, obviously, so, at the time, obviously, watching it, the Goldberg-Gunther thing, I thought, his retirement went off pretty well, minus the stuff where, like, NBC cut his speech. Did his speech air on Peacock? Or did it get cut there, too?
It got cut there also, too. And I think they just posted the full thing on their YouTube.
Which is, like, I think a good, like, way to solve that. I personally don't understand Goldberg's frustrations. WWE, I thought, they went to Atlanta for his retirement. They put him against the world champion. They essentially took the title off one of the hardest stars for Gunther, for Goldberg, so they could have that world title match. And then, they had the match. It went off pretty well. Goldberg was looking good, and then, his speech getting cut. I could see him being mad about that. But it seemed like he blamed WWE for that. That's an NBC thing, not WWE. And they did a lot to hype it up. They had him do that sit-down interview. They played a lot of video packages for him. And then, it just wasn't, I guess, what he wanted. I don't understand what he wanted. I don't know what more he could have wanted. I guess, like, to end it on the PLE, but, like, it's also kind of Goldberg's fault he's even in this position, because he should have called it a career back in 2017 after the stuff with Brock. But he kept coming back because of the Saudi money and everything like that. And he put himself, he could have had this retirement and felt good a while ago. And then, like, he got upset that, like, there's something else that he got upset about that I'm trying to remember. I watched that interview so long ago now. It just, I don't get it. Now he's, like, thinking about coming back, because, like, he gave a very vague answer in that interview, saying that, like, you never really retire till you're dead type of thing, and it's just, like, that was the whole reason WWE did this show, was so you could retire. Oh, I remember what he said. He got, like, upset that, like, WWE, like, known about this for, like, 6 months, and then, like, they only started, like, doing stuff with this for, like, 3 months. It's like, Goldberg, this is, so, like, a lot of people that you wanted to be there couldn't be there. Like, isn't that on you? Like, you've known about this for 6 months, you don't say it? Like, do you not say anything? Do you not say something? Like, hey, 6 months, some could have, like, it's like when you invite me to your house, you don't, and you know about it for a while, like, hey, I might be doing this, I might be doing that. I guess he just was like, I guess he just waited. Like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Like, what are you doing? Like, I guess
true.
Was he just gonna, if they didn't advertise anything until, like, the week before, was he just gonna be like, oh, by the way, next week I'm retiring? Like, was he just not gonna say anything to anybody? Like, like, he waited, like, why did he wait so long? Because, like, yeah, like, obviously, did he just think, like, everyone's lives was just gonna, like, stop when he said something? Like, I don't get what was he thinking?
They were just gonna disappear.
I guess so. Like, did he think, like, because then he mentioned, like, this person had, like, a convention, that person had this going on. It's like, yeah, because, like, not everyone's lives revolve around you.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess he thought so. That's kind of like, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, now obviously the everyone's trying to get him to go to AEW. Like MJF went on like a podcast and called him out. MJF was like so out of touch with just everything. Just like, get out of here. Like, I don't want to see that.
I don't either.
But it's probably gonna happen, and then like, yeah, it's just gonna. But I like Saturday night's main event. I'll give that like probably a solid B. Also, I feel like there was just things out of WWE's control that kind of like made this show not come off. Like Goldberg's post stuff that he said about his retirement was like what the hell was that? And then like obviously Seth getting injured, so like that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. It really sucks.
And then we have Evolution 2. That happened. I liked it. We had a 2-hour countdown show for some reason. Didn't need that. Could have done without that. I'm gonna keep saying it until they stop doing them. Night of Champions, they didn't. It was only an hour and a half. That was good, but this was 2 hours, and a lot of it was just them like biding time. Like they kept showing stuff from like Women's Evolution and everything like that. I'm pretty sure too. This is actually pretty funny. I want to mention this. They like showed like pictures. No, they showed like the full match of like Becky Lynch and like Charlotte Flair from like Evolution 2018, and then they showed like a video package of it. Like they showed the full match, and then like immediately afterwards they showed like a video package of it. It's like, wow, you're really just trying to kill time, like, aren't you? Like, wow. Not as bad as Backlash. Remember Backlash, where like they already broke down like all the matches in like the first hour, and then they only had like one match to talk about, so they show like a documentary on video games just to really buy time.
Yep. They had to. They ran out of shit to talk about.
It wasn't that bad this time around, but yeah, they. Did you watch the countdown show? You probably didn't.
Nope.
But you can imagine it was a lot of them killing time. I think for like a good minute, Jackie Redmond and Big E just like thanked everyone that were like women that were high. It was like, yeah, we're really just killing time now, aren't we? We're really just gonna kill time. But let's just start talking about the show. They did some nice cold opens and everything like that. They had Stephanie McMahon come out. They kind of had the Oakland section set up still because, it was in the same place as Saturday night's main event, so they just did it again. It opened up with the women's triple threat for the women's Intercontinental Championship. It was Lyra, Becky, and Bayley. This was very good. I thought this was great stuff. Really great triple threat match here. Where everyone kind of like, really wasn't working together. It was all just kind of a free-for-all and everything like that. And Becky Lynch had a really good slick roll-up where she won the match. I thought that was awesome. I really liked the finish of that match. Then we had the NXT Women's Championship match, which was Jacy Jayne versus Jordynne Grace. Surprised me. It ended up being like really good. I thought it was better than I expected. And then it got stupid. They had Blake Monroe go heel and attack Jordynne Grace, and it led to Jacy Jayne winning. I don't mind Blake Monroe going back to a heel because I think she's better as a heel, like, anyways, but just not this way. This means that Jacy Jayne has to keep the belt longer. It means what they did at the Great American Bash kind of didn't really matter at the end, and then like it's just, and then Jordynne Grace is still in NXT, and the whole reason that like Jordan or Stephanie Valkyrie like aren't champions because they're supposed to be going to the main roster, and only one of them's gone to the main roster. It's like, so why didn't Jordynne Grace just win the belt like from Stephanie back at like Battleground? It doesn't really make sense. But it happened. We'll talk about like what's come of this. I just didn't like Jacy Jayne retaining, so that's why I didn't really like the turn itself. So, but I don't really mind her being a heel. But again, I just didn't like this how this all came together. Then we had the 4-way tag. I thought that was very good. I really liked that. I thought Sol Ruka looked really awesome in this, and I thought the Kabuki Rules looked good. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are really over as a team, which is good. I actually didn't really expect that to happen. Raquel and Roxanne retained. I feel like that was kind of predictable, but it was still fine. And I liked how that came together. They had Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. I thought that was pretty good. I feel like Tiffany and Trish just kind of did their highlights and everything like that. That was pretty good stuff right there. Tiffany winning was obviously the right decision. And I liked how that came together. Then we had the No Holds Barred match with Bianca as the guest referee, Naomi versus Jade Cargill. Bianca really didn't do much in this match. I feel like because she's still injured, so they just kind of had to be there. But I like the fact that she was there. This was very brutal. This was other than the main event, my favorite match of the whole show up to this point. But then the main event really stole the show. Jade Cargill winning, I thought worked. I like the finish at the end there. It made sense because obviously she's challenging for the women's title at SummerSlam. And I think it makes sense to go this direction considering the fact that, Jade Cargill, the only one to push the rocket ship up to her. And, Naomi didn't hurt from this because she was going to be used again in like an hour. And I feel like this is just a good way to end this feud. I really don't think there's really need to extend this feud anymore. And then the main event was Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. Excellent, really great main event. Probably one of the best women's matches I've seen in a while. We obviously got the WrestleMania 31 cash-in all over again, where Naomi came out during the match and cashed in the briefcase. I really liked the cash-in. I thought that really worked. It made a lot of sense. And I think what was great about this cash-in, it was very unexpected. It really took everyone by surprise, because obviously for weeks on SmackDown, they had been building up that she was going to cash in on Tiffany Stratton's belt, and that made all the sense in the world, because they'd had a storyline going back, like, years and everything like that. But I'm glad they switched it and swerved everybody and went this direction instead, because now it shows you can just you don't have to necessarily cash in on your brand. It gives Naomi kind of something to do, and it really works. Naomi's now officially on Raw because she's won the Women's World Title, but like that matters anyways. I liked it, and I forgot the Battle Royal. The Battle Royal was a good Battle Royal. Just kind of happened. It was definitely one of those, we have to let the crowd kind of cool off a little bit after that really good Naomi Jade Cargill match, but it had some good moments in it. I love the fact that Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame got eliminated right away. I thought that was wicked funny and loved it, just every second of that. Last Legend looked good in this. I thought she looked awesome. Jada Parker looked good, which I didn't like because I don't like her type of thing. Not as a person, but I don't like her, skills and everything like that. And unfortunately, they seem to be very high on Jada Parker. Lola Vice looked good in this Battle Royal. Nikki got a really good reaction. She looked good in this Battle Royal. They gave the win to Stephanie Vaquer, which I think was the right decision. I wish you could pick which belt you could challenge for, but it's just going to be for the Women's World Title since that's on Raw. But I really liked Evolution. I thought it was very good. A lot of people are saying this is the best main roster show of the year. I'm not sure if I agree with that or not. I still like the Rumble and maybe Chamber a little bit more. But I definitely like this a lot. It probably would have been, but the Battle Royal was just kind of boring. And then, JC Jane retaining the title really brought it down. So it's probably a B+. It would be probably an A- if JC Jane didn't retain the belt, though. But what'd you think of Evolution 2? I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot. Long time coming. It was the best show of the weekend, hands down. Just proved that the women don't really need the guys to draw a big house and or to be on the card. So they were they all did great. I'm okay with it being every few years. It can't go that long again.
No, not
because that was. I just thought that was gonna be a one-off the way they were talking about it. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did Evolution 3 again in 2 more years.
Yeah, I would do it every other year. Some people have come out and talked about this. Nikki Bella says it should be every year. Jordan Gray said every other year. I think every other year would be fine. I don't think this season.
Every year would be fine. Every other year, every 2 years, every 3 years, but not more than 3.
Yeah. So
it needs to feel special like this one did.
Did you grade Saturday night's main event and Evolution 2? I don't think you graded those shows.
I give Saturday night's main event a B-, and I give Evolution an A-.
Wow. Even with JC Jane retaining the belt, you're still keeping that at an A-. So.
Yep. It's been sitting for a while. I would have downgraded it if we had reviewed it immediately. it would have been like a B, because I did not like Naomi cashing in, but I've gotten over that now, and it doesn't bother me anymore.
But yeah, we've had a lot of stuff happen. We have SummerSlam coming up, so I figured since all the storylines right now are tied to SummerSlam, we're going to just kind of go over the SummerSlam card, kind of talk about how we got here with these matches. We're not going to predict them because obviously we still got this week's shows to do. So a lot of things could change. And again, because of the Drew thing, it's kind of nice to wait. But let's just kind of go over them. We know when the cards for both nights now, since Sam Roberts and Megan Morant did the podcast and they revealed the match cards for both nights. We'll just talk about it. Cool that the SummerSlam's 2 nights. Obviously, I think this happened because it was supposed to be WrestleMania was supposed to be here, but then it didn't happen. So SummerSlam is 2 nights. I'm cool with that. It's I'm absolutely cool with that. So and AEW is not going up against them apparently because they're scared now. So they're scared, They are terrified to go up against WWE. Just absolutely terrified.
What a bunch of cowards.
Yeah. And WWE gets called out on when they actually step up against them and they're counter programming, but whatever.
They love the idea of being competition at WWE, but when then WWE actually competes against them, they claim counter programming.
Yeah. But yeah, let's just go over these matches and kind of talk about how we got here with these matches and give our thoughts on if we like the stories and stuff. One match that's on for SummerSlam, but we don't know which night it's going to happen because it was announced after that podcast went out. If I had to guess, I'm going to say it's night 2 though, because night 1 has 6 matches and night 2 only has 5. So I imagine they're just going to put this on night 2, but we'll see. But it's this match I'm really looking forward to. It's a 6-pack tables, ladders, and chairs match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. It's going to be the Wyatt 6, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy defending against Andrade and Rey Fenix, DIY, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits. I'm really looking forward to this match. These teams have been really going at it since earlier this year, no matter in all types of combinations. The Wyatt 6 won the tag titles from the Street Profits pretty recently, and now everyone's just been kind of to save the tag division and go after the Wyatt 6. The SmackDown tag division, as we've talked about on this show, has just been really on fire this year. I'm only happy with SmackDown going back down to 2 hours that it didn't affect it. It seems like it's still running pretty strong, which I think is awesome. And I think this match is probably going to be one of the best matches of the whole weekend of SummerSlam. I think this match is going to be excellent. I'm really looking forward to it. And I like that this isn't just throwing 6 teams and saying there's a TLC match. This match has been set up for months, going back a while. Ever since the Wyatt 6 came back, they've been wanting to take out the tag division, and DIY has been trying to save the tag division. Haven't been doing a very good job, but they've been trying. And then there's just so many teams in this match. There's so many storylines going on around them. I think this match is going to be a real highlight. How do you feel about this TLC 6-pack team match, and when do you think it's going to happen? Because it's not really advertised for either night. We're not sure yet.
I think it might happen maybe night 1. Maybe? I'm not sure.
Yeah. How do you feel about the match itself? Are you ecstatic about it, or do you not even want to see this?
I am terrified of how great it's going to be.
Wow. Do you lay awake at night just how terrified this is going to be?
Oh, wait, they have some people actually have so far every match but that one has been decided.
Yeah.
So it's Tiffany and Jade night 1, Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul for night 1. Gunther Punk night 1, Judgment Day versus Charlotte and Alexa night 1, Roman and Jay versus Braun and Bronson, or the Braun Browns as they call them, is night 1. Sami and Karrion is night 1. Night 2 is Cena Cody, Naomi Rhea and Io, Becky and Lyra, Solo and Jacob, and Dom and AJ.
But how do you feel about the build to this match, this nice 6-pack TLC match? Do you like the build, or do you wish the build was better?
I think it's been great. Every team is really getting a chance to shine, regardless. I think it's been great. And I think that match is going to be a fucking car crash. I think it's going to be supremely overbooked, and I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really happy because, WrestleMania, we wish that TLC match that happened on SmackDown afterwards was at Mania. I'm glad that they're fixing that issue this year with all these. This match might overtake that TLC tag title match that happened at Mania. This match, I think, is. And it's like 25 years after the first TLC match. So,
yeah.
I hope we get like a Bubba Ray appearance since, he was in that match. Or maybe like a Hardy's appearance too. That'd be cool if we can get them in there somehow.
Yeah, fuck the other two guys there in the match. Fuck them both.
But they can't show up because they're not.
Fuck them both.
So, but yeah, other stuff that's we'll go through the night 1 card. That's going to air on August 2nd. They've continued the Sami Zayn Karrion Kross feud. We thought that was just going to be a one and done, but that's not the case. Karrion Kross has been beating up Sami Zayn. He's been taking now more a physical approach with Sami Zayn. He's injured his ribs. They had a match on Raw this week where Karrion Kross won by using the lead pipe. Now they're having a match. They're having a rematch at SummerSlam. I really like this feud. I like the fact that Kross is finally getting some type of a push. Just poor Sammy, though. He's just getting his ass kicked. And, again, stay away from him because he might go heel because he's feuding with Karrion Kross. I've liked this feud. And I feel like this match at SummerSlam is going to be very good. How do you feel about this feud? Do you like it or do you not really like it that much?
I don't mind it. I kind of like it. I mean, Kross has definitely been put over big time.
It's not over until Kross says it's over, though, so...
Hey, what if he never says it's over?
I know. What if this just goes on forever? Like, just like... Or what if he just says it's over, like, mid-match? Like, Sami Zayn's about to head over the Luva Click, and Kross like, it's done, it's over. And he just leaves.
It's over. That's it. Done. Goodbye.
So Sammy, like, would Sammy finish the job then? Because then, or would he just end? Would he just let him leave?
It's just over.
It's done.
This is what it is.
Imagine they keep having. Imagine they just keep this going. Sammy keeps beating them, and Kross like, nah, it's not over yet. I'm not done. So, what's the other way around? Kross beats him repeatedly, and he's like, nope, not done yet. We got more to do.
We got more beatdowns for you.
What if he's in the middle of just beating down Sammy and he just says it's over?
He could say it's over 30 seconds into the match.
What if Sami Zayn's like about to do his comeback and then like mid comeback Kross says it's over, like while he's doing his comeback?
Yeah, so then it's over. It's just super over at that point.
It's done. Well, he's over though, definitely. That's that. No,
oh yeah.
No question about that. He's awesome. I hope I hope they re-sign him. He deserves to be re-signed. I would love that. But yeah, but let's continue going over other stuff. We have the Judgment Days. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. They're going to defend the women's tag belts against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. This kind of came out of nowhere. Obviously, this is continuing what happened at Evolution 2. And they're just having a women's tag title match. I've liked the team with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I wish they would have earned a tag title match. They just kind of announced it on SmackDown really randomly out of nowhere. But I guess that's whatever. And I've liked the team up of Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. I think that's been pretty solid. Liv Morgan probably isn't going to like this very much, but... it happened. But, yeah, I really like the team of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I really don't know who's going to win this match. Just because, Charlotte Flair and Alexa are really over. I feel like they need to capitalize on that. But also, they have kind of a nice story going on with all the Judgment Day having the gold again. So, Pretty interesting. How do you feel about this match? You interested in this, or could you do without this?
I could do without it.
Okay.
Like, it just doesn't. It just feels like we have nothing for Charlotte and Alexa. Let's just throw them in a tag team.
Yeah, that's fair.
And have them randomly compete for the tag titles as an odd couple tag team.
That's fair. Then we have the Women's Championship match. It's Tiffany Stratton defending against Jade Cargill. Obviously, this was, like you said, this was set up because Jade won Queen of the Win. They haven't built this feud a ton because they were still kind of in other stuff, like going into Evolution, so they've only really had 2 weeks to build this up. They're kind of, they're just two of the best in the division right now, kind of gonna have a match. Pretty cool because they did this match, the SmackDown after WrestleMania. It's kind of like AEW's homegrown talent going up against like WWE's homegrown talent, so that's pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see if they pull the jewel on Jade Cargill. That's kind of the good thing now about Naomi cashing in at Evolution, because obviously the big thing we thought was going to happen was, Jade would probably, Jade was going to lose to Naomi, and then Jade would still have the match, and then cash in at SummerSlam. I'm glad they've kind of done away with that now, because that makes this match, because then there'd be no point in, having the match would be fine, but it'd be just kind of, I don't think anyone would really care about this match that much, knowing Naomi could just come out and cash in whenever. So I'm glad that they could just have a match, and it seems like they're just going to strap the Rocket to Jade. We'll have to wait and see. How do you feel about this match? You good with this?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
And then we have the World Heavyweight Championship match. It's Gunther defending against CM Punk. Pretty interested in this, obviously, it's a brand new opponent that CM Punk's never even been in the ring with, because obviously everyone that he's had a match with, except maybe Drew, he had been in the ring with when he was in his first one. Gunther's a completely new opponent. I really like this. They don't really have a lot. It seemed like they had to kind of throw this together last minute because Seth got hurt, because the Punk won the gauntlet, and they had the promo segment on Raw the other week, and then they're gonna do something tonight. But I'm pretty interested in this. How do you feel about the CM Punk Gunther? I feel like the match will be better than the build, because again, they haven't really had a lot of time to build it up.
I feel like that too, also.
So we'll see what happens, and then we have Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus potentially Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, depending on what happens. The way they got to this match was really exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Jelly Roll does in the ring. He's done on podcasts recently where he's mentioned the fact that he's been training really hard. He's been living at the Performance Center for 3 months. He's not even doing music right now. He's on a break, and he's chosen to do this instead of just taking a break. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does. I actually think he's going to surprise a lot of people. From the little we've seen him do on SmackDown, he's looked pretty good. I feel like he's going to be like Pat McAfee when he stepped into the ring, where he really surprised everyone. And I think the same thing's going to happen with Jelly Roll. And I love the stuff they've done with Logan Paul, where he's trying to defend wrestling when he's kind of a hypocrite, because he's a celebrity that broke into this, and he's not full time. And they did something on Jimmy Kimmel, when Jelly Roll hosted that episode. They did a little angle there. So I've enjoyed this. How have you felt about this little program they put together?
I've liked it. I've liked it a lot. I can't wait to see what happens with Jelly Roll. Very excited. Very, very excited.
And then the main event potentially is Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun and Braun, the Brawns. Obviously, I'm still pretty interested in this. I think there's enough to it with the Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman stuff and the Roman Reigns Jey Uso stuff to kind of keep this going. Obviously, we've had a good thing with Roman and Braun Braun Breaker having a little face off, and they had that at the Rumble, and it seems like they're just going to strap the rocket ship to Braun Breaker. I'm pretty interested in this. It kind of sucks that Seth stuff happened, because I feel like this would have been different, but I'm still cool with this. Are you cool with this?
Yeah, very much so.
And then we have night 2 of SummerSlam. Again, we only have 5 matches announced for that, so that's why I think the TLC tag is going to go there. We have the men's Intercontinental Championship match. It's Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. This match was advertised for Night of Champions, but then Dom got hurt, so it didn't happen. Dom, wasn't cleared to wrestle until last week. I doubt that. I feel like he was lying, but, only Dom's doctors and him know that, but we'll see. So AJ Styles has been kind of being wicked funny recently and, mentioning, pretending to be, all these different stuff and just really trying to get under Dom's skin. And I think it's been awesome. Yeah, how you feel about the build to this? I really liked this. I think it's been wicked entertaining.
I think it's been great. For the most part, AJ Styles has been phenomenal. He's been really funny, and I hope he wins at a squash.
Do you think Dom was actually hurt, or do you think he was faking it?
No, he's faking it. Of course he is.
What about that doctor's note, though? He wasn't cleared.
Yeah. Anyone can fake a doctor's note.
It's true. So you think Chad Gable? I guess since Chad Gable was out Guardian Americano, I guess he faked his doctor's note too. Then, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, he did.
Then we have the men's U.S. title cage match. It's going to be Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu. I'm very interested in this. They did that angle on SmackDown where they tried to fake Jacob Fatu committing a crime, but then Solo Sikoa got found out and he got arrested. And then we've had the stuff continuing with Tala Tonga and Jimmy Uso. I like the fact that it's going to be 1-on-1 in a cage match. I'm pretty interested in this. I think this is going to be a pretty violent cage match. I'm kind of scared for the safeties. Mainly Solos. I feel like, Jacob is going to be pretty cool in this match. How you feel about this? You like this build-up, or do you think this build-up needs some work?
No, I've liked it so far, and this match is going to rule.
And then we have the no disqualification, no count-out last chance match for the Women's Intercontinental title. If Lyra loses, she can no longer challenge for the title as long as Becky Lynch is champion. It's Becky versus Lyra. I'm still liking this feud. Obviously, I'm kind of ready for it to be over because it's kind of been going on a while. But it seems like this is going to be the last match, regardless of who wins. It's pretty obvious. It seems like when we do the predictions, but it seems like Bayley's going to turn heel and cost Lyra the match. They've been teasing a Bayley heel turn for a while. And on the house shows that they've been doing recently, Bayley's been not working heel, but they've been trying her out as a heel in matches with Lyra. So it seems like, Bayley's going heel. But I think this feud's been good. It's just kind of time for it to be over, probably. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's time. I think Bayley's going to go heel. It's just so obvious that she is that they made it too obvious.
Oh, definitely. I wonder what happens with the belt. Because I think Becky, I was just thinking today, I don't know if Becky has a lot of opponents on Raw she could feud with the belt. She has some, but she has Natty, Asuka, Kyrie. We're really kind of seeing, the kind of the struggle with the women's division in the sense, because now that they have the mid-card belts, they have to find a way to get everyone to challenge for these belts, because before it was just the two main ones and now the tag, but now that they have so many, it just kind of makes whatever belt, one of the belts always just kind of feels less prestigious. And right now it's the US belt that kind of feels that way for the woman, because literally nothing's happened with it since it's really been since Chelsea's lost it mainly. And it was that way earlier this year when Lyra had it before Becky came back. It just feels like one of the women's belts is always just going to be left on the back burner. Do you feel this way also, or do you think I'm just not acting like a lunatic and just making up assumptions?
No, you're not.
See, I have my moments when I'm doing well.
The moments when you're just a lunatic.
But then we have a women's triple threat on this show for the women's world title. It's Naomi defending against Rhea and Io. Totally fine with this happening. We had a women's triple threat earlier this year that stole the show. Pretty interested in this, and I think this will be a hell of a women's match. Are you pretty interested in this, or do you not care about it at all?
I'm pretty interested. See where it goes.
Then And then the main event of night 2 probably is going to be Cena versus Rhodes in the street fight for the undisputed WWE Championship. Obviously very interested in this. I feel like this time around, because it's a street fight now and because Cena has been wrestling a little bit more one-on-one matches lately, I think that this is going to outdo the Mania match. Obviously, the biggest thing is they've been teasing is it seems like they're going to do a role reversal here, like a double turn, like Cody now will go heel and Cena will go back to being a face. And they've been teasing that on television recently. I personally haven't seen that. I just think it's Cody being a little bit more...
I haven't.
Yeah, I think it's just...
I don't think people know... The people don't know the basics of wrestling. That's the problem. It's people have no clue and just say shit online for engagement. The people say that he's turning heel, he's not. That's him wanting revenge.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but we'll see. He could still, if he very well could. I think it's not necessarily a mistake to turn Cody heel, because I think he could be a good heel. It's just, no one could really take Cody's spot if he goes heel, because, there's no, face of the company at the moment, and Cody just does it well. There's no real need for Cody, I don't think, to go heel. He's still getting good, reactions, and he's still, pretty beloved by the fans. I think people, like you said, people just don't understand the basics of wrestling and think he's turning heel. I'm interested to see what happens with this, because, Cody's kind of one of the final ones that can get the title off Cena before he retires. I'm pretty interested to see what they do with this, because, whoever wins, I feel like they need to have, a plan for the next couple PLEs. Because if Cena wins, it's not necessarily boring, but then, it's pretty obvious he's not losing the belt until his last match. But if Cody wins, I think that puts some excitement to it, and you could do some exciting things with Cena at the end of the year. But how are you feeling about the build-up to this and everything like that?
I like it. I think it's been great so far, and it's, we still have a couple more days too, so I think it's going to get pretty good.
And that's the SummerSlam card. Do you like the SummerSlam card so far, or do you absolutely hate it? Think they should change every single thing about it?
I think they should change every bit of it and change every match and just wing it.
I feel like, too, just not even change.
And don't tell anyone.
Right.
Remember? Just once they show up to SummerSlam, they've been there having a match. First match on the card is now Randy Orton versus
Jelly Roll.
Whoever else.
Jelly Roll. That'd be awesome.
Randy Orton versus Uncle Howdy.
It'd be awesome though if they did the Randy Orton.
Cody Rhodes versus Eric Rowan is number 2. He's gonna be main eventing. And then John Cena in a non-title match is against Alex Shelley.
So random.
As the third match on the card, not even the main event.
That's one of Cena's last. That's Cena's.
He's not even the opener. He's the third match on the card.
Cena should get a jobber entrance to one of those AEW Dark jobber entrances and everything like that.
He should get the jobber entrance, and Alex Shelley should get the big entrance.
And they have a good match, and then it ends with the ends because Uncle Howdy teleports through the wind and pulls down. Not even Cena, Alex Shelley. That's who he wants. He wants Alex Shelley. Not even Cena. He wants that.
He teleports there. And then. And then
what's the
Roman
main event
Reigns
of each
and
night?
Jey Uso face.
Wait, who would Jey Uso?
Roman Reigns and Jey Uso face Montez Ford and Tommaso Ciampa. Just fuck up in a TLC match.
They should.
But instead of tables, ladders, and chairs, it's just the name of the match. There's no TLC. It's a sponsorship.
You know what'd be awesome too? They just said screw this. We're only doing this one. They just decided to only do this for one night for a half hour. They don't even. They just decide screw it. The night 2 is not even happening. Night 1's barely even happening as it is.
Night 1's barely happening.
And then Triple H does a press conference that's like 5 hours, and it's just, it's not even, he doesn't take any questions for like an hour. He just sits there and talks.
Just sits there and stares at him.
That'd be awesome. He just...
just not even, doesn't even say a word.
They try to ask him questions, but he just... Is it just an hour of him just staring there, or is it going to be longer than that, or less longer than an hour?
It's going to be an hour of staring, and then an hour of answering one question, and then in the hour 2, he's going to answer 1.5 questions.
How do you answer half a question?
Someone asks him half a question, he cuts him off.
It's like...
And hour 3 gets a 2.5, and then hour 4 is... By hour 4, he just gives up and stops answering questions and goes back to staring at them again.
Does it make sense he gives up too? Like while he's answering, like
mid-word. All right, thanks. Nothing. Just stares. Just even finish the thanks.
It'd be awesome too. You say he answers half a question. He answers one question, and then he goes to answer the next question, and he like doesn't. He like answers it, but like doesn't answer with the way you think. He like completely moves on or something type of thing.
Just tails off, and then by hour 5 of the press conference, he just falls asleep, and everyone has to stare at him as he falls asleep as he's sleeping.
Is he in his PJs doing all this, or is he in a suit and?
Oh yeah, all of it. He's in his PJs.
Are they allowed?
That's all televised too.
Are they allowed to leave in hour 5, or they have to stay there? Like, can't leave. They're stuck there.
You can't leave at all. You have to wait till he wakes up.
What if he never wakes up?
And too bad.
He just sleeps the rest of it at the press conference.
And that's all on Peacock.
Would you like the SummerSlam if it happened, or would you hate it?
S tier.
But yeah, let's there's something still going on in wrestling though in WWE that doesn't have anything to do with SummerSlam, so I want to make sure we talk about it. Sheamus and Rusev have like continued their feud, and yeah, it's been pretty good. You know, I like the fact that they've gone back to their roots. You know, because they were both in League of Nations together, and then they were both feuded for the U.S. belt during Rusev's first one, so I've liked the fact that, you know, they brought this feud back. It's been really good so far. They both each have a win against each other. Rusev beat Sheamus a few weeks ago, and then Sheamus on Raw this past week beat Rusev. I imagine they're doing a third match, some type of street fight or something. Probably the Raw after SummerSlam. That seems like a Raw after SummerSlam like match. How do you feel about this feud? I've liked it so far.
Great. It's been fantastic. I feel like that is also to a night after SummerSlam sort of match, because the way that the card is structured right now, there's no room to put them on it. Everyone thought maybe they would have a best of series that would be kind of put on SummerSlam, but I wouldn't rush it, and there's really no room to fit that sort of match on there. So their best bet is just to wait till after SummerSlam and maybe kind of have a best of series after SummerSlam that build it into the next big PLE.
Yeah, I don't like that. How do you feel about how Rusev's been since he's been back? Because now he's kind of really fleshed out his character now since he's been back and everything like that.
I think he's been really good. I really like the direction he's going in now. It kind of felt at the beginning that he was sort of like directionless, just kind of like randomly feeding with the Alpha Academy, and then it just felt like it was just a way to get him reestablished. But this, I feel like, is going to be the best sort of feud for him. Just do what he does best, and is just a fucking brawler with Sheamus.
And then, you know, meanwhile, there's been someone else that's come back from AEW on SmackDown. Aleister Black, you know, he's kind of finally starting to find some footing in WWE. He kind of started a feud with R-Truth. That didn't really go well for him. But then he's going into a feud with Damian Priest. I think this feud's been good for him, you know. Priest was kind of trying to play peacemaker. And Aleister Black, he's kind of back to that heel gimmick that he was doing before he left WWE, that he was kind of like started right before he got like released abruptly. I really like this for him. I like the fact that him and Priest are feuding because they both kind of darker like type characters and out the kind of shades of gray characters. Because Aleister Black definitely is heel, but he's not showing any real heel tendencies or anything like that. Where Damian Priest is like a darker character, but more lead and face. I like this feud. They're having a match on SmackDown. Aleister Black needs to win that match. I know they did that thing where he laid out Priest recently, but I feel like Aleister Black kind of needs to win this to kind of get him going and get like his career on a good path in WWE. How do you feel about this Aleister Black Damian Priest feud? Do you like it or do you absolutely hate it?
I thought it was a pretty random feud. Like, it just feels like they were just thrown together, but it could work. It's just I'm not really sold on it.
That's fair. They both need something to do too, so like I guess they just want to feud them with each other. But I just talked about R-Truth. You got the next topic with R-Truth. Talk about what he's been doing recently and stuff.
It's Truth is in a weird spot where it's like he came back and was himself and looked more vicious and had this like I thought was going to go into a feud with Cena, and I thought it was going to be pretty good. He could flesh out his character a little bit more, and he sort of just disappeared. And I just I just kind of question like what their motives were for bringing him back, if they're just gonna have him do this and then just not really be a focal point like it was looking like he was going to be. It just seems very odd.
Yeah, it is very odd. Because he had the match with Cena, and then he did the thing with Aleister Black, and he hasn't really been seen like since. It seems like too because they had this stuff planned out for Cena. They want to do them like they want to do the Punk match at Saudi, and then they want to do the Cody rematch. So I don't know if I thought they were just gonna wait, but it seems like weird that R-Truth has just flat out like disappeared. Hasn't really done that much. I thought he would have been more of a focal point, and they would have built up his character more. But it seems like he's just flat out, full on disappeared.
It was very abrupt too.
Yeah. I'll let you take the next thing too. I know I was supposed to do that, but I'm gonna give my voice a rest for the next couple of like entries and stuff. The women's division in NXT. Anything else main roster related you want to cover before we move on?
No, I think we've covered pretty much everything. We covered SummerSlam. We covered a couple of feuds.
Yeah.
That have been ongoing.
The only thing is I'll mention, because I hadn't seen SmackDown when I was writing this, but it's happened now. Kiana James is back. She's been back for a while, obviously. I don't think we've done an episode of Aftershock, really, but, Kiana James, we found out, got an injury that has kept her out of action for a while. Because we were wondering what the hell happened, and then we didn't know about this knee injury, and then she posted a picture, like a few months ago, where she had like a knee brace and everything like that. She like went for surgery, and she's been back in the mix now. She wrestled Mia Yim on Main Event to kind of get her footing back, and then we've seen her backstage talking to Julia on SmackDown last week, and then this week we find out now that she's Julia's manager / representation. I don't think I've sent you this yet, but Denise Salcedo did like a live stream and like didn't even realize that like representation meant manager. So like she didn't realize she was a manager for like a good couple seconds. It was pretty funny. Like I don't know what she thought. Like what else would she have been? I didn't understand that, but
That's insane.
But I would prefer Julia just be on her own. I don't really think she needs like Kiana James as like a manager. I know Julia, has like the language barrier and can't really talk on the mic that much. But I feel like we've seen like in Triple H's WWE that like he's been able to work around that with like Shinsuke Nakamura and Stephanie Vaquero and all the other international talent, where he just has them do like video packages and stuff like that. And I just think it's kind of weak. I don't really think I don't really think Julia really needs Kiana James. I think he just wants to, they just want to get Kiana James back on TV. This partnership could be fine though. As Kiana James could just be like an on-screen manager, not wrestle, which would be fine because she's pretty solid. Like on the mic, I just don't think Julia really needs like Kiana James as like a manager. I just think it's very unnecessary. How do you feel about this partnership with Kiana James and Julia and everything?
Just she's terrible. So anything to keep her out of the ring.
Okay. I guess you found the positives of manage Kiana James as
because she's not good.
She's not. No,
I don't care. She's just not good. They must have been watching those fucking matches with blinders on. I don't know who the fuck Kiana James is your favorite. If Kiana James is your favorite, fucking open your eyes. The fuck did she even do?
But this is like Tough Enough Cam in 2011, like type of thinking right there.
Just horrible. She's terrible.
But yeah, let's now we'll do some NXT stuff. I'll let you talk about the women's division just in general because it's kind of a big topic of NXT.
I feel like the women's division's on a bit of a roll right now. JC just won the TNA Women's Championship. They just brought in Mariah May as Blake Monroe, and she's feuding with Jordan Grace. I still feel like it's very odd to bring her in as like this babyface and have her get super over in such a short period of time, just to go in interviews hey, you know what? I think you should go heel now. Like, this is something you should have built up.
Yeah.
Not 3 weeks after she debuts let's turn her right now.
I mean, that's a very Shawn Michaels thing, so.
Just very stupid. It's the division itself has been pretty okay, I guess. I'm not gonna say strong because it's not been. And that shows because past Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace and JC Jane, it's like a pile of dog shit.
Yeah.
Whether it's Lash Legend or
Jada Parker.
anyone else. Jada Parker, Sol Ruka and Zarya aren't bad. I think they're pretty good. Should put them in the good tier because they are.
I thought we don't do tier lists anymore.
Yep.
Are we doing tier lists again? Because I'll get one going for you.
Nope. But in terms of like the good part of NXT, that's what they are. But it just feels like, other than them, it's like shit or people who are not ready.
Yeah.
And people who've been performing on Evolve, and it's really a huge drop off.
Yeah, I've thought I think the women's division's been pretty solid. I don't like JC Jade as champion, so that's a big negative. But I like how they've done the Jordan Grace Blake Monroe feud so far. I actually like Lash Legend. I think she's fairly solid. I think she's got a lot of potential. The Zaruka stuff's been good. I like Len Sinclair. I think she should get more showcase. Tatum Paxley, it depends on the story. And I don't understand a character sometimes. And then Izzy Dame I could do without. And there's some other women I like. I feel like they should be given more of a showcase, like Carmen Petrovic. I feel like should be getting more of a showcase. Lola Vice. But Sean dropped the ball with her like a year ago, and she stupidly cashed in a contract.
There's more that you mentioned. There's more people that are actually good than not. Like Lola Vice is great.
Yeah.
She's been doing a lot of stuff with AAA recently.
Yeah, there's some people involved that are solid. I'll talk about this now as a save it for the Evolve thing, but for some reason they put Tamara Stark, Tyler May Steele in Evolve, and removed her from NXT completely, which is really weird. Because the whole thing of LFG is supposed to get an NXT contract. Well, she got a contract, all right, but now you go to Evolve. It's like, what? That doesn't.
She got a contract, all right.
Evolve contract, it seems like. So.
Yeah.
I bet it'd be funny if like Sean takes that's in that contract. Sean removed the folder. It's like an Evolve contract by like accident type of thing. That'd be funny.
Just like hold it out from underneath there.
Yeah.
As she's signing it.
But I like the women's division. I feel like we've seen in NXT it's been weaker. Like I remember in the 2.0 era, it's pretty weak. But I think it's been pretty solid. And then why you talk about the main championship? How that's been going since the Great American Bash?
I felt like they put the weakest possible wrestler as champion. She's just so mediocre. JC Jane is, and they're pushing her like she's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
But in reality, she is extremely mid. And the fact that she now has 2 championships, what are we fucking doing here?
I can see
the whole fucking thing is you're supposed to elevate someone. Masha Slamovich should have won because I would have rather fucking her win so I could see her more in NXT. Whereas I already see too much of JC Jane, and it makes me want to jump off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, I see it twice.
And and on top of it too, every week I have to see Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nixon them fight constantly.
Yep.
Weren't they supposed to break up 2 months ago? What happened to that?
Not thin anymore.
Like, besides Jasmine Nix being insanely hot, she brings 0 talent to the table.
Absolutely.
None. Any chance that there is to have a tag match, any chance there is to have a singles match, any chance that there is to showcase any members of Fatal Influence, it's always Fallon and JC and Jasmine as the fucking manager.
Do you remember
every single fucking time?
Do you remember when we watched like the first episode in the CW? I think they did like a Fatal Influence like match, and like doing all that match like scuffles and stuff. Like I don't think Jasmine Nix took like 1 bump that night. I think
she was a single one. She is terrible.
Now, what I meant to have you talk about was the men's champion. Because when I was just like... Because when you were saying all this stuff about the weakest champion, like, what? You think Oba's the weakest champion? What the hell you been watching? Like, I guess Oba's a weak champion, apparently, in your eyes. But no, I meant the men's champion.
No.
I meant the men's champion. How do you feel like the men's title division's doing? Do you think that's doing well?
Great. Exact opposite of what I just said. Oba Femi has been one of the best champions WWE's had in a very long time. This guy is main event of WrestleMania written all over him. He is an absolute fucking star. Unlike JC Jane, who, if you put her up on the main roster, silence, because no one's going to give a fuck about her. Whereas Oba Femi, if he goes up there, is going to get massive reactions because just fucking look at him. This guy's main event of WrestleMania written all over him. This guy's star written all over him. And I'm just waiting for the day for him to go up.
Yeah,
the main roster, because I feel like he's done all he can in NXT, and I feel like now it's time for someone else to get the title and for him to go up to Raw or SmackDown and dominate up there.
Yeah, he's been doing well in NXT. You know, he just had a triple threat. What you won. It seems like Javon Evans is gonna be the next guy that goes after him. I'm totally okay with that. That's totally, NXT level main event. I like his character too, where he's not face or heel. He's just a destroyer that just goes out there and destroys people. I think he's meant to be a heel, but he leans more towards face, like some weeks.
Oh, he leans way more towards face.
But then the North American title, we've had some fallout of that since the Great American Bash. They stupidly had Ricky Saints lose to Jasper Troy in a really dumb way. It was really weird. But whatever. I feel like
It's the only way he could win because he sucks.
But I feel like Ricky Saints is gonna get that win back. It's really weird too because he went through the stage and he didn't even actually the camera went away and I thought he was gonna do and the stage was broken. What happened? Did the stage just collapse? Okay, I guess that happened. But Ethan Page, he's been doing well as North American champion. He is no longer carrying the other title. He wants to carry the Canadian version of it, which is totally okay with me because he's representing his country and everything like that. And Santino took offense to this because Santino, has been raising his children and stuff in Canada, and he wants to prove that not all Canadians are like that. So he's gonna challenge for the men's North American Championship, which I'm totally okay with, considering the fact that we've seen him wrestle on TNA a couple times this year. I think he wrestled Mr. Stone at one of the TNA pay-per-views. I didn't see the match, but I don't know. What's his bump code? Can he really take bumps? Because I know he had an injury that made it so he had to retire type of thing, and then
yeah, he can bump.
There you go. I don't think he's winning the belt next week, but I think he's gonna put on a really good performance. But I'm really happy that he's getting this moment type of thing. And
I am too.
I know it's part of his gimmick where he comes out and he acts he acts very unspoken when the crowd reacts to him, but because you see he's at that gimmick in TNA, but in WWE that's actually genuine when that happens because he hasn't been in front of really the WWE crowd really at all that much, and the fact that he's getting ovations like that is pretty cool. So, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about the Jasper Troy Ricky Saints mentioned the way you did first? Because I had you talk about that. I'm gonna have you talk about that first. Do you like the way that ended, or do you think that was just stupid?
I thought it was stupid, but I really like the Santino coming out, and I think it's going to be really good. I do. I think it's going to be very good. I'm excited for it.
There's something I want you to talk about. No crew catch crew. No crew catch crew. What?
No crew. There's no crew anymore.
Well, there almost isn't no crew. Why don't you talk about that? There's been some stuff going on with no quarter catch crew. It's falling apart.
It is falling apart. They're on the verge of breaking up, and it's because Tavion wants to go do his own thing, and as Ren has said, Charles doesn't want him to leave. So they're having a match this week to determine if Tavion is in or out of the No Quarter Catch crew, which, if you think of it, it would probably be the end of the fucking group, and it would go out in such a kind of way.
Yeah, this group hasn't been showcased as well as it should have been. I think the main leader of the group got fired, so they haven't really pushed it very much because, then they did that stupid stuff with when they were feuding with the family. They made it in a low end family type group where they were kind of doing the same thing, and then they just got and then they brought in Len Sinclair which I think was a massive mistake. Weirdly enough, the best way the best this group's ever been booked was when they did those TNA appearances. They would book vicious killers in TNA, and they really couldn't get that in TNA, not TN. Well, in NXT, unfortunately. So yeah, it sucks. They could resurrect the group, and after Tavion wins, they could have Charlie Dempsey bring in 2 other people for this group that are really vicious, but I don't know who that could even be, because it'd be but we'll see. So, but obviously this has been a big topic. Actually, before I talk about this, there's another NXT thing that happened. I'll just mention it quick. The Family Feud's finally over. They had a triple threat last week, and Tony D ended it, and I'm happy the feud's over. And they had a good triple threat, I'll give them that, but I'm just happy this is over. And yeah,
I hope it's over forever.
They said it is. The triple threat match is supposed to be it. So Be interesting. I guarantee you, Luca Crucifino and Stacks are going to be very irrelevant coming up pretty soon, though.
Oh yeah.
And then Tony D's going to be like bland still, probably.
Oh, he is.
So.
Yeah, he's been.
But yeah, there's another thing we have to talk about. WWE and TNA have still done the partnership, and I think it's been a very fruitful partnership, as we talked about. It's benefited both promotions. NXT. If you watch our early Aftershocks from back in 2023, NXT was always like the worst show of the week when we did the reviews and everything. And it wasn't like they were getting C letter grades. I think they were getting like DF letter grades. That's how bad it was. And then NXT started doing this partnership, and I feel like they've been able to utilize a lot of TNA's talent, and TNA's benefited from this because I think it was reports last year they were going to go under and stuff like that, and then they did this partnership, and it's been very good for TNA. It's got a lot of tickets sales. And the partnership at the beginning really wasn't much. It was just kind of like they would use their talent, WWE would use also their talent, and then they made it official in January. And we've gone through periods of time where we'll see a lot of interaction between the two brands, but then we've seen other times where they haven't. But now it seems like it's full on because ever since Trick Williams has won the belt at Battleground, it's been going very well. He's been showing up on both brands as well as Fatal Influence. Dog State's now even showing up on TNA, which, I don't like Dog State, but it's still good for them, I guess. But obviously, ever since Slammiversary, now obviously people are questioning if WWE's burying TNA because other than the Dog State match, they've put the TNA Knockouts Championship on JC Jane, and they've kept the belt on Trick Williams, where they could have put the belt on Mike Santana or Joe Hendry. And I think more specifically Mike Santana, because they were ready for him to win the belt. So we can wonder if that's the case. And then they did the segment on NXT where Undertaker laid out Trick Williams, and that was like the TNA World Champion that he laid out and everything. Personally, I don't think WWE's really burying TNA. I think this is just part of the storyline, because on TNA they've been hyping up the fact that WWE is like an invading force and everything like that. Now that they have all the titles, TNA is going to be like that underdog company that fights back. And you never really see WWE act this way. Typically it's the reverse, where it's WCW, it's ECW, it's ROH, it's this company that's the invading force, and WWE's the baby faces. But I like the fact that they're actually embracing the fact that WWE are the heels. I still think this partnership's been very fruitful. WWE on their show, like I said, advertised a TNA pay-per-view, full on, which we didn't get at all in AEW. When it was time for Kenny Omega and Rich Swann to have their title match, AEW never mentioned it on the other side, where they had many opportunities to do so. Anytime Kenny wrestled in TNA, it was never mentioned on AEW. The only time that Kenny lost the belt was to an AEW guy, and then when the partnership ended, it was pretty much done. I think this partnership's been very fruitful on both ends. I will definitely question JC Jane winning the TNA Knockouts title, but I don't personally see it as a burial of TNA. I just think that JC Jane shouldn't have won the belt. But I feel like WWE and TNA have been doing well. They've been giving TNA a lot of wins. They've had Mike Santana and Joe Hendry have victories over big time NXT talents. They've had Master Slamovich beat a few of the NXT talent and everything like that. So I still like this partnership. I know a lot of people think that WWE's burying TNA. And plus, the thing about The Undertaker, it's not like Undertaker went on and buried one of their guys. It was one of NXT's guys that's holding the TNA World Championship. So it's not like it's yes, it was the TNA champion, but it wasn't their TNA champion. It was Trick Williams. And again, I don't think anyone would have said anything if he didn't have the TNA World title. So I don't personally see it that way. But yeah, how do you kind of feel about this partnership? Do you still think it's going well, or do you think WWE is just completely eviscerating and burying TNA?
I think the partnership has been very fruitful. I don't think they're burying them at all. it's kind of funny when they say that because their side is completely burying Ring of Honor and New Japan by poaching their fucking talent. No one's being buried. Need to know what the definition of buried is, because it's the most overused fucking term in wrestling today is the word buried. No one knows what it means anymore. But eventually, it's going to be Mike Santana that wins that championship, and he's going to look like a star.
Yeah, I think they'll wait. They probably want to do it on a one-on-one setting too. I don't even think it's time for Trick to lose the belt, so I'm okay. Plus, too, I feel like that spot with Mike Santana was probably meant to be Elijah's spot, and then he got hurt, so they had to throw Mike Santana probably in there. That's probably what happened. I don't even think Mike Santana.
Wouldn't doubt it.
So, also too, if Fabio's having like one of the promotion's most outsold shows, then it's like that is that really a burial? If like TNA had like
Is it really?
TNA had one of the most outsold shows because of this partnership. Like, if that's a burial, then wow. Then I guess they really do have to look up the definition of a word burial. Because if that's a burial, then wow, type of thing. You know, they got to have their champion be on WrestleMania like weekend type of thing on WrestleMania itself, and a match with Randy Orton. Like, if that's a burial, then wow, that's
what a burial.
Yeah,
you totally buried him.
What a burial. You know,
right? Except for the fact that Randy specifically asked for Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
Out of all the people, they gave him a list of people that he could work with, and he specifically chose Joe Hendry.
So
burial, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Complete burial.
But yeah, anything else NXT related you want to talk about before I move it over to Evolve and I'll take over for a little bit?
No, but like we covered everything pretty much there. Partnership's been doing great. It's helping both companies, and looking forward to continuing.
Yeah, so Evolve, Evolve's been continuing. It's been a show every week. They've crowned their first champions. I think I've talked about this before, but again, it's been so long. I'll just talk about it again. And, they've had a few title defenses. We've got to see what they're like as champions. On the women's side, we've had Callie Armstrong become the first champion. I think you got to see Callie Armstrong for like a few seconds before Jordan Grace messed that up for you. But she's pretty solid. She's got a lot of upside. She retained the belt against Natty recently, and pretty solid match there. I think Callie Armstrong's been a good choice for the first Evolve champion. They've teased an attacker storyline on that side of things, and predictably it was Jin Tala, which was Lee Lowell from LFG, and the reason was pretty solid. It was because, she got eliminated from LFG for not being aggressive enough, so she became this mystery attacker. It's very predictable she was going to be the mystery attacker, because every time the mystery attacker attacks someone, it always benefited her, so it's pretty predictable. And I've enjoyed Evolve on that side of things. I've enjoyed seeing Kylie Ray. They started a feud between her and Chantel Monroe. And then, obviously they brought in Tyra May Steele. Don't really understand why that happened, but it did. I guess you don't get an NXT contract if you win LFG. Guess not. Meanwhile, on the men's side of things, it's hasn't been as fruitful. I don't think they picked the best person to be the first Evolve champion. I was waiting to let it play out, but you've seen Swipe Right now a few times. They very mid-code. They're not someone you think that can carry a brand or anything like that. And again, the only reason I said that it happened at the time is it seemed like Shawn Legacy was going to get signed straight up and just go to NXT. Well, he's still in Evolve. He's still there. I don't know why he wasn't the first champion, because Swipe Right are just very mediocre, very mid-card, and just very meh. Obviously I understand they're just learning, and they haven't been in the business for probably very long, but I just don't think they were the people to put the first Evolve title on, especially too, they haven't really been hyping him up. I would have liked it to have seen be like, again, Shawn Legacy. It just would have made so much more sense, because he was doing all that stuff with NXT, like showing up and facing Ethan Page for the belt, and then he got that big win against Javon Evans and Tahuti Miles, and it seemed like nothing really came from it. He's retained the belt against Lindsay Dorado, which was pretty good for him. And Hey, remember Brooks Jensen? He's in Evolve now, so that's not good.
Yeah,
So yeah,
good for him.
It's not good. And he's a heel again, I think. He went from like face to heel in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay, now he's a heel again.
Yeah,
Weird.
so it's a thing that happened. Yeah, I don't like. I'm not a big swipe right guy. The solid talents, I think Zeta Steel's got a lot of upside, but this group just very mediocre. You've seen a swipe right a few times. Are you a fan of them, or have you not seen enough of them? Huh?
They're fucking awful.
There you go. So, and then other things. Dante Chen's on Evolve now. Remember he was on Level Up. He was like Mr. Level Up. He'd like defending Level Up. Now he's just gonna do that with Evolve, and he's not off to a good start. He lost to.
Remember when he was the prized pupil of Robert Stone?
Yeah, and he like beat Lexus Kid like 3 times, and then yeah.
And then disappeared out of thin air.
Well, there's a reason he disappeared because he went to Evolve. It's
He was evolving, all right, evolving downwards.
Yeah. So, they're doing a storyline with Keanu Kava where he wants to take out everyone in the WWE ID program, and he's off to a good start. He took out Timothy Thatcher pretty brutally, so it's not good. I like Keanu Kava. He's pretty imposing, pretty big. So that's good. Anyone else that's in Evolve? I think that's everyone in Evolve. We're starting to see a lot of the inclusion of the WWIT talent. We've seen Marcus Mathers, I think his name is. He's pretty good. I like him. Yeah, I'm just enjoying some of the Evolve talent right now. If I had to say my favorite of Evolve, it's probably Shawn Legacy and Jack Codwell and Cappuccino Jones. They made them a tag team now, which is pretty good. So yeah, I like Evolve. I like how it has this Fight Club feel to it because it's in it's in the PC, but they've made it seem like it's in a smaller place. And I've liked the inclusion of the NIL program with the WWID program. I just would change the main champion. I would just make it Shawn Legacy, but it's just not going to happen, Chris. So, but yeah, we have some other news items I want to make sure we cover because we haven't been doing the show for a little bit, and then we'll end it off. So I know we haven't heard nothing about it since, but I just want to make sure we mention it. Shayna Baszler came back pretty recently and was a agent backstage for a match. I believe it was between Kalani Jordan and Lainey Reed. And the match came off very well, and now we know why, because Shayna Baszler agented the match. And, I kind of hope this leads to, her becoming a coach and everything like that. I think that's a really good utilization of Shayna Baszler. I don't know if it was one of those things, her contract, her no-compete clause hadn't come up yet, so they just let her do some stuff there. But, yeah, how'd you feel about hearing this news when it happened and everything like that?
I liked it. I thought it was a really nice way for her to kind of do something that she was doing beforehand, and she seems to really like doing it. So, it's a nice way to keep her involved and keep her in the WWE bubble. And if this is something that she's going to do permanently, I think, honestly, it's a great job for her. She's come from that producer talent tree in Natty and TJ, and it's just she's really going to be successful as a producer, and I'm really looking forward to see if she sticks around or if this was only a trial run. But I do think that her wrestling career is probably on the back nine. Considering the fact that she's mid-40s now, I would think that this is something that she would have a lot of interest in. And I think she's been around NXT for quite a while now, even post-release, because there really hasn't been a thing where she's been wrestling. So, she's so far in her short period of time, agenting and producing matches. The matches that she produced were really good.
Yeah, so
I am all for her if she wants to, put the wrestling boots away and, be an agent or a producer or a trainer at the PC or all of them, I would be 100% for it because I think she has an incredible mind for this business.
I do too.
And the crazy thing is too is like, it's not like she grew up in the business. She grew up in MMA. She was an MMA fighter, so it's like she learned all this shit on the fly, and that's like insanely impressive.
And then yeah, we found out some information recently with all the releases that's happened recently. One of them that requested his release was Eddie Thorpe. He clapped back at a fan that said I requested my release. A lot of fans have been making fun of him for this because he absolutely deserves this because he did this at a really weird time in his career because he was kind of starting to get pushed. Like, he was starting to get a lot of TV time. He just beat Trick Williams on at a big PLE and everything like that. And then, like, he was, like, that was the last thing he did on TV. He was, like, in the main storylines and then he, like, asked his release. And then I guess he goes and he requests his release. And everyone's kind of like laughed at him because he said this. I think he absolutely deserves this. So I think it's funny we just mentioned it here. He's such a clown.
He really is. Like it's, I mean, at the beginning, I thought he was really good. I liked his New Japan stuff, New Japan Strong stuff, and New Japan stuff. But like, the more as time went along, I was like, what the fuck is this guy's like gimmick besides the fact that he's a Native American? Like what else is there to him? And then he turns heel and then like has a crybaby gimmick and then he's gone. So it's like what the fuck? Like he went from heel, Trick Williams, gone. All within like 2 months.
Remember, like, I even said in some of the, like, when he would have matches, he would come out and you wouldn't even know he was, like, a heel. He, like, did the same entrance and everything like that. Like, it was nothing different about him. Like...
It was anything different. There was nothing special about him. But, again, get rid of him and open up a spot for someone else.
Yeah, that's happened. So, and then, you know, someone else that retired, Sonya Deville apparently retired. She announced this somewhere, that she's retiring from wrestling. I don't have an issue with this. You know, seems like she's liking doing the podcast and she's doing some other stuff. If she wants to retire, that's absolutely fine. You know, she's been in the business for a while and everything like that. I'm a little surprised. I thought she would have done, like, an indie appearance here and there, but she's got other... thing she's focusing on. She's got this podcast she's got going. If she wants to just focus on that, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. You know, she served her purpose in wrestling, and she feels like she doesn't want to wrestle anymore and just do the podcast. Go do the podcast. Like, I mean, if you want to, I'm sure if there's a time where you want to come back, I'm pretty sure they would welcome you back with open arms. Because like your stupid best friend, you're actually allowed to come.
Yeah, I thought that. Speaking of that, because we'll just talk about it now. Someone else is because I know you wanted to talk about this. Not a best friend, but somebody else who collab with a best friend is taking a break from wrestling, type of thing. And I know you want to talk about. I know you want to talk about it.
So, over the past. What is it, like, less than a week or so?
Yeah, I feel like it was, like, last week, yeah.
There has been Cora Jade, Elena Black, decided that she wanted to stop wrestling because of mental health. And it's okay. Everyone took it seriously because, you know, mental health is a serious thing. Turns out she's being deceptive. Called it out immediately when it happened. She's just going to do OnlyFans now. So that's not retiring from mental health. That's retiring because no one wants to fucking work with you. Or stepping away due to mental health. That's a different thing. Using mental health as an excuse to do OnlyFans is pathetic. Plain and simple. Just utterly pathetic. If you want to do OnlyFans, do OnlyFans. Don't fucking have an excuse. No one fucking wanted to use you on the indies because you're fucking mid. So, and your asking price is probably too high, and these companies don't have the fucking type of money to be dishing out for washed up wrestlers. So, have fun doing OnlyFans because no one's going to buy it, and I can guarantee you within the next year and a half, you'll be back.
Yeah, it was pretty pathetic. It's pretty pathetic. I remember I was starting to call this out in NXT because of wrestling work had dipped. I'm like, I don't think she's got like the headspace anymore to like even want to do this. I feel like she was focusing on other things, and then we haven't seen a lot of it. And then she started doing the indie stuff. It's like, oh, okay, that's happening. And then she started doing the OnlyFans stuff. This is kind of
her big thing was, oh, I'm gonna drain your pockets. And guess what? She hasn't drained anyone's pocket.
Yeah, and then it's led to a news story kind of coming out now since then where there might be a lot of... I don't even think I buy this news story, but apparently it's a thing. Because of how successful and how much more money women have been able to make when they stepped away from wrestling to do OnlyFans. They've made more money doing OnlyFans than like wrestling, I guess. So.
See, if you're wrestling, it doesn't matter how much money you're making most of the time because you're still making a shit ton of money. You're doing it because you love the business and you want to partake in the business. These hoes get into wrestling just so they can eventually start an OnlyFans career. That's what it's becoming because they're seeing how successful Lacey Evans is on OnlyFans or Mandy Rose and like, oh, I can do that too. Oh, I can do that too. But in reality, and I said this to you, the male fantasy is what Mandy Rose is. That's what the male fantasy is what Mandy Rose is. So they'll pay money to see her take her clothes off. No one's paying any money to see Cora Jade post bikini pics on OnlyFans. No one's paying for that. You can just see it free.
Very mid pics too.
I'm like, the more they do it, the more it makes me laugh because it's like she used mental health, which is a serious fucking thing and a serious problem, as an excuse to do OnlyFans.
I feel like too she doesn't have the excuse for that because like Blair Davenport, B. Priestley is wrestling, but also is doing OnlyFans. But she's also wrestling at the same time. Like,
you don't see her going out making a post about mental health. How many times she's been beaten down in this industry?
Yeah.
They're fucking using mental health as an excuse to do OnlyFans.
But yeah, let's continue. This one's probably going to take us like 2 seconds because we don't want this to happen. But, it's apparently out there and we know it's not going to happen. But Edge/Cope's contract expires in like October because he's been there like 2 years apparently. I don't know how it's been 2 years, but it has been. It's been a very underwhelming 2 years, but whatever. I don't think anything comes of that. I think he just goes back to AEW and continues to lose interest, like lose his star power and everything like that and just become an asshole like he has been.
If he wants to rehab his image and wrestle in front of people, he should come back. Just plain and simple. Retire the right way. Go back to WWE. Retire the right way. Not do this shit where you wrestle in front of fucking 1,000 people in a fucking in an amphitheater. If you want to go out the right way, wrestle in front of, 10 to 20,000 people on a regular basis, like WWE does.
Especially, too, he talks about he wants to contribute, he wants to help get back to the business. You can do that at the PC. You don't need AEW for that. You can
have a PC. They don't have shit.
So
they don't believe in a PC, and it shows.
And plus, too, he can, a big reason he could come back, we could get one, I don't know if I want it, but it'd be fine, he could wrestle Cena, I would think about this, he could wrestle Cena one last time, type of thing.
And that probably would be good.
Yeah, it would be. So I don't think he's gonna.
I think he does. He's an idiot. He'll just resign.
Yeah.
Just like Dustin did. Dustin signed for 6 more years. What an idiot.
Yeah, really.
What an idiot! You want to go out the fucking right way and retire? Should have went back to WWE, dude. Come on. Come on. You would actually see people on the hard cam side because they don't tarp it off.
One last like a thing in the any news, and then we're gonna do like a special thing. WWE Unreal comes out. I'm probably gonna release this the day it's out actually, so it's already out. So it might be good, it might be bad. We've seen some clips and everything like that of it, and I'm looking forward to this. You know, I like the fact that we're gonna see like what it's like behind the scenes, day to day in WWE, because we always hear about it. We always see the stuff like way after it comes into effect. So it'll be nice to kind of see them like doing this like day to day, like what WrestleMania 41 was like behind the scenes and everything like that, It'll be. I feel like there's some things we're not gonna see, like that stuff with The Rock, that he went on Pat McAfee's show to talk about. I feel like isn't gonna get shown, which I think would be interesting. You know, he mentioned he got called last minute. I don't think that's gonna get shown because I think they were filming before that interview even went out. But you know, it might get shown, but I don't think it is gonna get shown. But I'm interested to see what this is like. You know, how do you feel about WWE Unreal? I think it's looking good.
I think it looks great. They're covering the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania.
So that's cool.
In that time period. So it's What does it come out again?
I think tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Well,
okay.
Today, because this is being released.
Yeah.
But we're recording this Monday, so it's tomorrow, not today. Because I almost said today to you, and then you would have been like, "Oh crap!" And then you would have like left the call and like gone to watch it, like completely.
Yeah, the 29th.
Yeah,
it's tomorrow.
So, yeah, I'm excited about it. We might review it.
We could.
We might not though.
Yeah, good. I'm excited for it.
So,
like I say, we could, and then we probably won't end up doing it.
That's why I said we might. But yeah, so I mean, we were supposed to do LFG season 1, and then we never did. So, and season 2 is like well ongoing right now. So, but yeah, let's end this off. So apparently, you know, a lot of people have been doing videos about it, and like lawn videos. But I kind of want us to talk about it. WWE recently hit the halfway point of the year. Just in general, it's a halfway mark of the year in any way, so I kind of want us to do like a little bit of a halfway review of what we think of how WWE's been this year. Doesn't have to be anything long. I'll go first because I figured I'll start the ball. You know, we're in year 3 now of Triple H taking over. I think the start's been good. You know, I definitely think there's been a dip a little bit from 2023, 2024. A lot of people are just kind of really crapping on the product now. I think it's boring. I don't necessarily think it's at that level. I still think we have like really good storylines, like with the Jacob Fatu Solo Sikoa stuff, the triple threat stuff that went down between CM Punk, Roman, and Seth. The stuff with Seth being built up. But you know, we've had some low points. The big reason I think we had a low point this year is I feel like a lot of stuff Triple H set up last year was for The Rock to be here, and then The Rock couldn't be here. So I feel like a lot of stuff got affected. I think we were supposed to see a very Rock-heavy year. Like with stuff, him being the leader of the Bloodline. And, you know, I feel like last year at WrestleMania, the clear vision was probably for Cody and Rock to happen, and then it couldn't happen. And then, I feel like there was like this big plan because I started writing like a fantasy book in a little bit about like what WWE would have looked like if The Rock, and I think if The Rock was more available, he would have had like a big focal point this year had he been available, and then they had to kind of pivot last minute. But we've had some nice stuff. I think the shows have also been really good. I've liked Evolve so far. The partnerships they've been setting up and everything like that. Which is actually, I forgot to talk about it, but the AAA partnership's still going. You know, they just did some stuff with them this weekend. The TNA partnership's been very good. The Noah partnership has been very good. We haven't seen as much of that this year because I think the TNA and AAA partnership's taken up, but we've seen like Yoshiki and Amora be a big focus in NXT this year. They've done really well in the Netflix numbers. So I think WWE's been good. I definitely think this is probably creatively Triple H's weakest year, but it's not necessarily like bad. I just think he hasn't had this real big storyline to really grasp his teeth on as much this year. John Cena's founder year has been very hit or miss. I feel like it started out pretty well, and that with the heel turn and everything like that, and then the Mania match didn't go over very well, and his heel one's been hit or miss. I think there's some weeks when it's good, it's real good, but there's some weeks it's just kind of mid. We've seen Triple H make a lot of new stars this year, like with Jacob Fatu. Well, Dom's not new, but like he's really give him a higher showcase. We've seen Obafemi showcase real well. And, I've liked LFG this year. I liked seeing, that show get showcased. I don't think Season 2 has been as good as Season 1, because it's been not as much the story heavy. It's been more match heavy, Season 2, mainly because they cut it by a half hour, so a lot of the stuff they did, they can't really do as much. But I've liked WWE this year so far, the halfway point. I'm definitely not one of those fans that think it's been, perfect. I definitely think there's been some little bit of missteps. Like I said, the whole stuff with The Rock taking your soul didn't really end up panning out. WrestleMania 41 I thought was pretty hit or miss. But, I feel like we've had some good stuff. So if I had to give a grade to WrestleMania, not to WWE. It's WrestleMania now, that's the company's name. But if I had to give WWE a grade of how it's been midway through so far this year, I'll probably give it a nice solid B, just a solid company this year all around. Anything else? How have you felt about WWE now we're at the halfway mark and everything like that?
I feel like WWE this year has been good. As you know, because I've been highly critical this year of Triple H and his booking. I feel like it's been hit or miss at times. There are always going to be inconsistencies in booking. It's a matter of fact. It happens.
Yeah.
Do I think he's a bad booker by any stretch of the imagination? No. There are inconsistencies. There are stuff that he cancels and shouldn't have canceled, and then other stuff that he pushes way too hard that just is not, it just isn't good. Or, the lead up to WrestleMania. We're being led to believe that The Rock was going to be, in some way, shape, or form, either wrestling or being at WrestleMania, and we get to WrestleMania and he's nowhere to be found, even though the entire fucking storyline was built around him. And instead, we get a Travis Scott cameo, and he's not going to be a part of this shit anymore, because, you know what? Because he's a lazy son of a bitch. So, fuck him. So, that entire fucking angle was ruined because of The Rock and Travis Scott. Thanks a lot. And it just felt like, as a whole, this year's been good. It's been good. I have my issues with him. He's not perfect. He's not fucking AEW level of brainwashed where I can't criticize him. I criticize him all the fucking time. Do I still think he's a really, really damn good booker? Yes, because there are a lot of shit that he does that is excellent, but there's also a lot of shit that he does that is pathetically bad. And that's just the life of a booker. You have a lot of shit on your plate. You got to book 9,000 things. It happens. This shit happens. And, last year was insane. And it's tough to really follow up 2024 when The Rock was fully committed. Cody was fully committed. Seth was fully committed. Roman was fully committed. It just, that lead up to WrestleMania was probably one of the best lead ups of all time. And it kind of carried that buzz throughout the year. And it was 2024 was awesome. And then into 2025, Raw on Netflix was obviously a huge high for this company. And then it sort of tailed off. And the booking kind of was like, what the hell? Why are you doing that? Like, why is the TLC match on SmackDown instead of WrestleMania Night 1 where it should have been? Like, the match was a fucking banger. Why wasn't it, even on paper, the match looked like it was going to be a 5-star match? Why the fuck are you putting that on the show? It's the showcase of the Immortals. It's the biggest show of the year. It's where you showcase your talent. Why the fuck is your tag team talent, your champions, at the time, the Street Profits, why the fuck are they on a SmackDown rather than being on the main card? Instead of replacing El Grande Americano and Rey Fenix when Rey Mysterio went down and putting that match, the TLC match for the titles, on the fucking card, they elected just to put Rey Fenix in there just to have him get squashed.
Or the New Day versus War Raiders was on there instead of that tag title match.
Instead of that, if you want to just replace that match with the tag title match. Instant. Night 1 becomes a classic. Because you had the great main event, and you would have had that great TLC match to at least cover up for the most of the shit that was on that show on Night 1. But overall, SummerSlam looks really good. And again, we still have, a couple shows like in between, and then Survivor Series to close out the year. So, in Survivor Series, probably is going to be really good again. So,
yeah, I think that's the
really.
thing. Oh, go ahead.
It really comes down to like the ebbs and flows of the business now. Like, what's he gonna do? Because I also too think that a lot of the booking got fucked up by them constantly having a PLE.
Yes.
Like every 2 weeks. So, and whenever Clash in the Castle Paris is coming up in a few weeks. So now that we're coming off of Night of Champions and Saturday Night's main event, they can finally fucking take a break a little bit because they're doing it in a few more weeks, so they can build up some of these matches.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like one thing too, like you just mentioned, The Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth was so committed. I think that's why we thought like The Rock was going to be a big part of 2025 because he was such a big part of 2024. We're like, okay, they're starting to do this bloodline stuff now with Solo. We thought that was like. I think we just thought that was involving The Rock, and then, like, it just went.
Yeah.
So.
That whole thing with Bad Blood, with Solo turning around and going, this is part of the plan. I was like, oh, shit, so The Rock is going to side with Solo, and then they do Tribal Combat, because The Rock was coming back after taking time off to film Smashing Machine and Moana. So he had come back, and it was like, oh, shit, this is the plan, like. And then he fucking comes out and Raw on Netflix and endorses Roman Reigns as the Tribal Chief? Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah. Again, I think just The Rock not being available. I honestly think The Rock not being available...
By his own volition, too, I think, now at this point.
Yeah. The Rock not being available really messed up, I think, this year. Because I think I don't think the Rock-Roman match would have happened this year. But I think we would have seen a WWE where, like, The Rock was going to be, like, the leader of that new bloodline. And then, like... that Cody match, I think, was going to happen this year. Like, I think a lot of stuff was going to happen this year had The Rock been available, type of thing. I don't think Cena would have gone heel. I feel like we would have had a Bane heel. I think Cena going heel was a direct result of The Rock not being available.
Yeah. I think so, too.
So, Cena, I guess, still could have gone heel and it would have worked, but I feel like, because we didn't have Rock, and then, like, The Rock last minute wanted to do this... sell your soul storyline, and then Cody didn't want to go heel because again, it just didn't make sense for Cody to even go heel anyways, and then they pivoted to Cena.
They definitely pivoted to Cena, and Cena was willing to do it because he wanted to do something that was fresh, something that was new, and that too, also in my opinion, has flopped massively.
Yeah, I think that's why. I think he's going face at post SummerSlam.
He needs to at this point because. I do think that eventually the goal might have been closer to his final match was to turn him face like in December. But like, to be completely honest with you, I'm like, I saw it in the very beginning, and Cena as a heel to me was very intriguing, and I was so into it. And then he came out and just repeated the same boring heel rhetoric. I'm like, this is not what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Like, he came out and immediately was like, the fans turned their back on me. I'm like, what year was this? What, like, the last year and a half, you've been the most beloved babyface in the damn cup 2.5 years. Going back to 2023, even 2022.
That's probably what
when he was
semi-full,
when he was semi more there.
I think that this would have carried more weight if he did it like 2013, 2012-ish.
Yeah, right when his feud with The Rock was, when he was supposed to turn heel originally.
Yeah.
Except for that was shot down. That was stupid. They should have just done it then. Because then it's like, where, like, in what planet in WWE world was it okay for him to turn heel and then for them to go, oh, John, go out and fucking say the fans turned on you? And what fucking year was that? like he, ever since he's been back, like, part-time, every time he comes out, he fucking blows the roof off the place. He's the reason why these fucking venues sell out when his name gets put on the marquee. Like, he comes out, the place goes nuts.
Yeah.
O2 in London, he came out, surprise, fucking place went crazy. He came out, surprise, against Roman Reigns, place went nuts.
Yeah, I guess,
where is this logic that the crowd turned on you? Now, if he used that logic 10 years ago, yes, now you have a point.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think he's definitely going back face.
He should, sooner rather than later, after this Cody feud. Because I think Cody's going away to film, I think it's Tekken, or he's got a movie role coming up. So I feel like the best thing for them to do is not double turn, but have John go face after SummerSlam, because this heel role absolutely sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the end of the show. I feel like we got nothing left to talk about unless there's like some last minute things you want to mention.
There is about the tag match, the Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Not really anything too crazy, but The Miz says he volunteers if Drew can't go.
Yeah, which is what I said.
He put out a statement but a video on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. He said,
you can't.
In the clip notes of it, he basically said, "I'm sick of everyone saying that I'm underrated. This is not a compliment. This is a lazy way of giving me my flowers." So he basically is saying he's going to be in if what you said when we were off air earlier, that Miz would be the replacement, and it's kind of, and I think that that's happening. So if Drew can't get these real visa issues fixed, then I think it's going to be Miz.
And I'm okay with that. Miz is awesome.
He is awesome.
Yeah, let's send this off. Is there anything you want to plug or promote before we get out of here?
No. No. Not really. Just watch SummerSlam this weekend. By the way, this weekend, SummerSlam.
That's right, yeah.
Kind of crazy to think that it's already here. First 2-night ever SummerSlam. It's going to be a really good one. Really intrigued to see how Jelly Roll wrestles. His Boss Man Slam they did on Friday was actually really good. He's been training for the past number of months to get himself like in ring shape. He's also under, I think he said it was like under 300 pounds for the first time since middle school, which is awesome.
Yeah,
because he looks a lot thinner.
He just looks healthy
so
too.
He looks really healthy, and I'm really intrigued to see how the match is planned, for how long he's going to be in there. I don't think it's going to be longer than a couple of minutes per each tag in.
Yeah,
I do think it'd be something along the lines of maybe Jelly starts, and then throws in a couple of spots, knockdown, hope spot, boom, tags in Randy. Randy goes the length of the distance, and then, hot tag, Jelly comes in, maybe hits the boss man slam and wins.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, though. They could surprise us. I always use Pat McAfee as an example. Oh, speaking of that, I want to we could talk about that because you haven't talked about this yet. Pat McAfee, got too burnt out, which I completely understand. So that's why we haven't seen him. He's basically finished up this run he was doing.
Yeah, college football is coming back in the next few weeks. College game day.
Yeah.
Their first week 0 is what they call it. Is their first, technically the first week of the season is August 23rd. So we won't see him back till at least, unless if he does like a surprise type of thing. If like they're nearby or whatever, like they did with in Colorado. But I do think that Pat's going to be gone until at least middle to the end of January.
Yeah, I understand him being burnt out too, because he does wrestling. He does a show every day, and then he did like his show. No, there's not the podcast, but like the live show that he did.
Yeah, the Pat McAfee show on ESPN.
No, not that. The one he did like live, like right before WrestleMania. Like it was like the Big Night Out show that he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of stuff went to that, and it's just tiring. He's also a full-time dad, also, so it's tiring to do this 24/7. I feel like it was good for him to take a step back now from it, just because sports is kind of like not really much of a thing right now. It's no NBA, no NFL, no NHL, and then baseball is kind of in between stage, so it's kind of makes sense for him to kind of take a step back. I feel like too he took a long time off too, in between. I think he was gone after Money in the Bank. He was gone. I think Money in the Bank was his last like show he commentated, and then
I think so too. Yeah.
It kind of it didn't really make sense to put him back with football about to come back. So lately, Corey Graves. Now the commentary team is Graves and Cole, which I think which we predicted was gonna.
I do think that it's switched. I think it's gonna switch up in a few weeks because Joe Tessitore does do college football on the weekends. So I think it's gonna switch back to Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore on Raw and Corey Graves and Michael Cole on SmackDown.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because I don't see them switching, because I think they like the dynamic between Wade and Joe, so that's why they keep them together.
It's great. It's really good. I like them as a tandem, and it just kind of makes sense with Tessitore's schedule to move them to Monday, and then move Michael Cole and Corey Graves to Friday.
Yeah, sucks for Netflix as they lose Cole, because I think they really wanted Cole on Netflix, but
that's the reason why he moved back. But again, there's no Pat McAfee, so
yeah. So, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure we covered that because I forgot to mention that. I don't remember what made me remember that, but I think it mentioned something about Pat or something.
It's
what?
It's relevant to the topic because we haven't been able to talk about it.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like
I think the last time we did a show, he was just taking the week off.
Yeah, I feel like because of how he was feeling this year, though, I think Pat might do like a little bit of a lighter schedule, like when he comes back this time around. Just because I feel like he's learned that like he took on too much when he came back this time around.
Too much.
I think that Gunther match probably took a lot out of him too, because he trained for that.
I think so. I think that too. Yeah, because he was. Oh, that's easily why he decided. Okay, enough's enough for this year. Like I want to save it up for college football because of the Gunther match. I forgot he had a match this year too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think if he had that match, I think he still would have been doing commentary until week 0.
Because the commentary was still good after the Gunther match, but you could tell like he was a little. It wasn't necessarily bad, but you could tell he lost a lot of steam. I think from that Gunther match.
I think so too. Like doing his live show, doing commentary, preparing for the match, training for the match, because he hadn't done a match in like a few years.
Yeah.
So that took a lot. I think it took a lot out of him, just mentally and physically. So I think he did kind of crash and burn a little bit, and he just needed to rest up. And if he decides to come back and in that time period during college football, he might, depending on if like they're in the same area, they might link up for a SmackDown or something, because he's there Saturdays. So for college football, wherever they are that week, maybe they might be link up and do a SmackDown the night before. But
what if
I don't expect him to be back until January.
What if his secret plan is just to come back and ruin wrestling? Because like it took a lot out of him last year. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna ruin this company and make it so no one ever watches it again. So he tried to destroy the company from like within, so he never has to come back to it, type of thing.
Never, ever, ever again.
How would you feel about that? Would you like it if he ruined the company from within?
It'd be sad.
Or what if he went to AEW to ruin that company from within? So it's one less company for him to watch.
That'd be great.
It
wouldn't be. That'd be amazing.
Like he sends like he cuts the wires so that way they can't air a live broadcast or something.
Do it.
Or like he makes it so no wrestling fans can buy their tickets or something. Like he blocks the websites and everything like that.
Be very appreciated.
And he doesn't top off anything. He makes sure that shit's shown that those seats are empty, type of thing. He makes sure.
Fuck yeah.
And he just goes on every news interview and just talks about how shitty the company is while he's under contract. Just how bad of a company that it is. And it's actually.
He's buried them in the past too.
Oh, he has. You have to send me clips of that.
I can't. I don't know where they were, but he's definitely kind of buried them in not so. I guess in secretive terms. And
he starts like. I'm trying to think what else he could do to like ruin the. He makes it so none of the wrestlers can like go there. Like he throws their like passports and like airplane tickets away, type of thing.
Good for him.
And he gets access to Tony Khan's like bank account and starts to spend money abruptly.
That'd be insane.
You know what the funny thing is? Everything I mentioned as a joke that Pat McAfee's doing, I feel like WWE's probably already doing this themselves. Minus like they cut the broadcast and they're probably not doing that. But actually no, because TNT did that for the Rock Act, the final boss. He might be the one destroying the company from within actually. Because don't forget Black Adam played and we didn't get to see the rest of Collision one week.
Yeah, that's
So.
Yeah, you could.
But yeah, let's do it. I'll do the actual promotions now. I just figured, we had to talk about that. Anything else you want to say about AEW? Not paying tribute to Hogan because I said my piece, but you didn't get to say yours.
I said my piece too.
Okay.
Fuck them.
But yeah, we have some things. Chris and I are actually going to do some videos this week, and it's not just going to be Aftershock. We're going to do some other things. We're actually going to do a retro this week. We're going to do what SmackDown we doing? Because you've told me before like thousands of times, but I always forget.
Well, it's going to be 1,001 more times now. Because it is the... Where are you? Okay, I guess this doesn't want to show up now. That's great. It was the 4th of July, 2002. SmackDown.
Yeah, that's where Hogan...
That I went public.
Yeah, you saw Hogan and Edge win the tag belts, so...
I saw all that shit.
That was supposed to be a retro in memory of John Cena for his final year, but now it's shifted to Hogan. So that's good. Good man. So
it is.
And we're gonna do SummerSlam predictions on Friday. If it's on Chris and I, it would be Steve and I. I don't think Steve can predict for the belt though. Unfortunately, I think I have to look up in my thing, but I think he won one of the predictions during the Atlanta takeover, but he hasn't won. But yeah, I don't think Steve's ever challenged him for the belt with the way he's doing his predictions. He keeps I don't think he wants to challenge for the belt with the way he's predicting some of the time. So,
I don't think he I don't think he wants to.
so we just let him, so that way, or so we keep it having him suffer.
Earn it. You fucking lost.
You're cashing in, by the way.
I'll tell you when I'm cashing in.
Is it going to be SummerSlam weekend?
It's going to be whenever I fucking feel like it.
So I guess it's not SummerSlam weekend. If I fire you, you can't cash in.
That's right.
So I'll keep you around, though. Keep you around. But I have to do it soon, though, so you'll cash in. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I will cash
Huh?
when you most expect it.
Oh, when I most expect it. Not when I least expect it. So, but yeah, next week, I think Monday, we're gonna do an actual Aftershock where we review both nights of SummerSlam. I'll either be at Chris's house doing it, or with him there also too. I'm not just to be at his house with him not there, but it might be a live in person one, or it might just be like this, we'll take a week off after that. Then we'll go back to regular schedules where we'll do retros and aftershocks. And we're gonna do so many aftershocks and so many retros to the point where Chris is gonna change his Discord account so that way I can't add him to the calls anymore. I won't want to do any more videos anymore.
I'll be Discordless.
Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We will talk to you guys later.